What do you get when some of the most individual sports stars club together? Well, a melting pot of history, tension, rivalry, friendship and elite stories. Here are some of the best off-camera anecdotes from the Ryder Cup. Number 1, Tiger's loo roll. The protagonist, Lee Westwood's former caddy, Billy Foster, sat in a toilet cubicle at the Belfry. As he went to relieve his first morning nerves, Foster noticed only one of the 2 cubicles had loo roll, and while he was seated, in came a tiger into the empty cubicle, and he realised his mistake all too late. So Foster took some paper, reached under the cubicle with a rescue offering, and as Tiger went to take it, Foster uttered the words, "Europe, 1 up." As it happened, Europe did go on to win. Fast forward 10 years to the miraculous Medina, when, after a gruelling Saturday, Rory McIlroy overslept on the Sunday and was in danger of missing his tee time. Thankfully for him, the person booking player transport was Erica Stoll. She sorted him a police escort to the course. 3 years later, McIlroy proposed in Paris. The next story is told by Scottish legend Sam Torrance about the great Seve, who apparently despised the Americans mainly because of a diminutive US reporter who kept calling him Steve.
Hey, my name is Severiano or Seve. It's no Steve, it's no Steve. Next day, Steve.
Torrance also tells of how Seve regularly gave coaching clinics to his European teammates, but a week later at the Italian Open, when the same players asked for advice, Seve would tell them to and see you next year. Having started with a Billy Foster story, let's finish with one from the 12th tee at Oakland Hills in 2004. It was Jimenez and Garcia against Westwood and Clark in a practice round, and as they finished, Foster decided to jump in the buggy and speed away with all their clubs, only to lose control entirely and tumble onto the course and see it careering towards the spectators. Thankfully, the Red Sea parted and the buggy smashed into a tree, with viewers and clubs still intact.
Well, that's good.
That's a bonus. So we can, we can start the show on a nice sort of slower tempo than our usual chaotic start where we're coming off the back of a big game at Anfield.
Yeah, and a lot of emotion and flying about.
So let me ask you, how's your weekend been?
Yeah, not bad. I went to Kempton Park yesterday to the races. Very nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, had lunch and watched the races unfold. Couldn't pick head and the tail of a winner, but, that's part of that kind of era of racing. What else have I done? I played golf, Alan Brazil's Golf Bonanza.
Where was this?
That's a good question. Where was it? Can't think of it off the top of my head now. Something Hall. Anyway, just in Welling Garden City there. But it was a good day and very well organised.
Who was there?
Paul Merson, Dean Saunders from this station.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else was there? Tim Sherwood, Alan Kirbishley. Yeah, a few.
And Tim Sherwood has a gilet on.
Tim looked good. He always looks good, doesn't he? He looks,
in good
guy.
nick.
Good nick,
Good
yeah.
nick.
Smart guy, strong boy.
I was had a bit of a hectic weekend.
Yeah.
Friday was the Roundhouse where you came to see me perform before.
Yes, I like the Roundhouse.
Yeah, nice venue.
Nice setting, yeah.
I was DJing there.
Right.
I had a good warm-up DJ on before me.
Go on.
Really good warm-up DJ. You might go somewhere one day.
It's going to be someone famous.
David Guetta.
No. Really?
Big DG was on before me.
Was that part of the show, or did he just turn up and go, I'm going to do a bit?
No, it was part of the show. I was on after him.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good news, yeah.
Yeah, it's good to see David.
So I'll take it big house. Proper, full up.
Oh, yeah, it was busy.
Yeah.
Corporate, though, so...
Oh, really?
Corporate show. And then...
Are they a little bit different? I guess they are, aren't they?
Flat. Bit flat.
Yeah.
Then Saturday started with us going over to Leicester. I went to the Leicester training ground.
Right.
Which is so impressive, by the way.
I have heard that it's...
really impressive.
Yeah, they've done a great job on it, yeah.
My son was playing there for his academy team, Jukesy. Big shout to Jukesy. Jukesy had his boys there. We went over to play the Leicester Academy boys. Wow. Just looking at the level of football from such a young age now is incredible. These kids, their footwork, the stuff that they're doing. There's one kid who flick the ball over a kid's head and run on after.
Yeah, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with our junior levels, nothing at all. It's just that transition to the first team. At the moment, we can't seem to get that spot on. I mean, obviously we're in that top bracket now, but certainly at those junior levels, we're winning everything.
Well, I don't know if you've seen the interview between Rio Ferdinand and Michael Owen. You've seen that?
I have seen parts of it,
and obviously it looks like Michael Owen is giving it the buzzer a little bit, but rightly so, because Michael Owen. Tell me your sort of recollection of Michael Owen coming through.
Well, Michael Owen burst on the scene as a player who was technically proficient. He wasn't the sort of player to come short, get it to feet and link the play, but he could. It wasn't like it was uncomfortable for him. He could do that, but it was in behind that he was a proper menace. I mean, he was so quick and agile, and obviously his finishing and his confidence was right at its top level. So if he got down the side of one of his centre backs, he would just run away from him and score. I mean, he just wouldn't miss. He just had a couple of years, which is incredible. And then as his career progressed a little bit, that didn't stop. And any kind of when you get around the penalty area and we have these deep defences, he was good at breaking those because he could take it on the side. He would always be side on. He could take it on the side and just go down and 2 yards, bang, and hit it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He was so quick with his feet and finishing. And then, of course, he had a lot of injuries and his sort of career. And I think even in the interview he gave, he talks about, his peak was probably 21, 22, which was amazing. But it does happen that. And after that, it was, not a massive decline, but it was a decline-ish.
But the thing is, as he talks about, the way he came, you will never see a 17-year-old, 18-year-old winning Golden Boot 2 years running, right, at 17, 18, getting into Liverpool, doing what he did for England, because the route and the pathway for the young players coming through, which links lovely into what we're talking about today with England, grassroots football, what I saw yesterday, is... we, for example, Spurs have just spent 60 million or whatever it is on Xavi Simons, for example, while we've lent Mikey Moore to Rangers.
Correct.
Could Mikey Moore not be given the chance to come through and be that guy?
Yeah.
Because he's got the raw talent. If Michael Owen's raw talent wasn't allowed to develop at the top level...
But hold on a minute, players do peak at different times. Look at Yamal, right, at Barcelona. Like, he's 16, 17, now he's 17, 18, whatever he is. He's already done so much because he was that progressive at a young age. The only people I can sort of, like, in my mind, English versions of Michael Owen would be Rooney, of course, who hit the ground running early, 16, 17, in the first team, proper player. And Gaza, to an extent. But Gaza, obviously, different kind of role. Midfield, he had to learn his trade a little bit. He got better and better until the injury occurred. So, yeah, but I mean, young players, they're either ready, but some great players, I'm talking about great players here, do take a little bit longer. Doesn't necessarily mean that they should be in at 17.
But is there the pathway for them to come through to those teams?
Yeah,
We're talking about.
so.
Do you reckon there is?
Yeah, I think there is. If you're good enough, you've got to remember, you've got to be able to, in training. Like when Mark Noble turned up at training at West Ham, and we promoted him from the youth team to the first team. It was evident after training session 1 at 16 that this kid's going to be close. Scotty Parker come and train with me when I was at Charlton when he was 14. And I thought to myself, wow, this kid's, proper exceptional. So you do get exceptional talents, and they will break in the first team. Chamberlain at Southampton I had at 16, John Joe Shelby. So I think if they're good enough, they do. I don't think you have to worry about that. But, of course, the competition for the first team, look at Chelsea, trying to get in Chelsea's first team with all the political finance that's there. These players who they've bought for 40 million, who they don't want to lose money on. Would you put a young player in front of them? So I know what you're asking me, and I think there are clubs where it's going to be very, very difficult to promote young players. But some clubs, I think, if it's good enough, they'll get in. Most clubs, I should say.
Let's talk about England then. The fans were treated to a bore fest against Andorra. Most of the anger is directed at Thomas Tuchel. Thousands walking out early. Adrian Durham gives some of the players a 3 out of 10 rating.
It's not like Adrian.
The fact is we won. But the way that we won,
yeah, of course, and the manner and the feeling is very important when it's an England performance. So none of that followed that result, and that team, Andorra, who hadn't scored for 14 games in international football, they've only ever beat San Marino. I mean, we're talking about a really, and there is a question whether. These games should be seeded to a certain degree, and these smaller nations have to sort of earn the right to come and play England, Germany, Italy. And I'm not saying that in a snobbish attitude. I just think entertainment-wise and for the paying public, I think it's a hard game because obviously, from Thomas's point of view, he just wants to win the game, get out the other side. He's not being paid for entertainment; he's being paid for results.
Yeah.
So you can't sort of criticise him and say, "Oh, come on." Get us going, do something. I was talking earlier to Sam and Perry, about, could he have put a bit more excitement on the pitch? Yeah, maybe he could have, but does he need to? 4
wins out of 4 in competitive games for Tuchel. Well, that's his job, as you said.
That's right. And but the question mark again was, the performance of some players that we know are great players, and again they were poor in the game, and you just want, you're always wanting more. Aren't you, when you watch England games? You're always expecting more, and that balance and that kind of togetherness of a team to be seen. And it was all a little bit fragmented and a little bit loose and a little bit sloppy at times.
Yeah, and I just think against those kind of teams, yourself, right? When you're playing against a much lesser opposition, sometimes you have to be wary of, not getting like caught out, but they're gonna put men behind the ball. It's going to be very difficult to break down. It's not going to be a nice game. You just want to get in, get out, and get it done, right?
Yeah, I mean, my memory goes back to, that infamous San Marino game when we had to win by 8 goals or something, and San Marino score after 2 minutes when we make an error, and they get in, score, and what's going on here? I just think that these type of games should be kind of angled out to a degree that we shouldn't really be playing Andorra, in my opinion. I really don't see it.
What's the point?
Who wins?
England's next World Cup qualifier is on Tuesday as they take on Serbia.
Can I just come back to one more point, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is more important than anything, and that's the mentality of players, right? if you don't think that human conditioning is in footballers when they come into play Andorra, the ambition, the kind of like mental preparation for a game is going to be the same as it would be against Germany or Scotland or, Italy. It just isn't. And hence why you get these kind of performances.
It's like when we have an international break. Like when we come into the show, we're just like, hey, I'm going to wear a hat today.
Well, you might be, but I'm on it tonight. I've got a couple of issues.
You got issues?
Yes, I have.
This is the week Pards unleashes. He has a bit of time.
I've got a bit of copyright issue going on as well.
A copyright issue?
Yes, we'll come back to
copyright issue. We're going to hear more about that on the show today. 03717 I want to hear your thoughts on England and Thomas Tuchel. As I mentioned, England's next World Cup qualifier is live on talkSPORT on Tuesday as they take on Serbia, presented by Adrian Durham.
Now that's a better game.
Yeah.
That Serbia are a team that should be seeded and have a chance and have a realistic chance of getting to a World Cup.
Serbia, Adrian Durham, commentary from Jim Proudfoot and former England captain Stuart Pearce.
Ledge.
Number 03717 223344. Topic, England. Have you had enough already from Thomas Tuchel? Is it the fact that he is a foreign manager, in particular a German manager, that maybe you're not warming to him? Be honest. Let's find out what's going on here. Or is it the fact that he's still picking the likes of Marcus Rashford over other players? My dad's not having it. Big Cole said, I'm not having it. I want to see Rashford in an England team. What do you think? 03717 223344. It's Majestic, copyright Pards. It's talkSPORT.
Madueke inside the penalty area, clipping it in. Way back to Gahey, forward towards James. Kane making an early run. It's Rice coming around the back, and he's He's headed it in for two.
I think England played with a higher tempo, a better revs in the tank, played more forthright, played more forward passes than we've seen over the last couple of games. That pleased me.
Now, when you've got players who are the equivalent of 4th or 5th tier playing for Andorra here at Villa Park, England at home, I think that fans have a right to come here and expect to see 4 or 5 goals put past that team. These are Premier League players. These are the elite players. And we see them playing really well week in, week out in the Premier League. Yes, they won, but nobody was really entertained that much, were they?
There you have it, England against Andorra. Yesterday it finished 2-0 as England beat them at Villa Park. But the reviews have been harsh. 3s out of 10 from Adrian Durham. And lots of England fans saying they fell asleep during the game. 03717 223344. Let's go to the phone lines. I've got Alex who joins us. Good evening, Alex.
Greetings, how you doing, boys?
Yeah, not so bad. Have you woken up from the England game yet?
I've got Majestic in my eyes, man.
What for you felt stale about that performance?
Well, playing crap teams, isn't it? We can't get ourselves up for it. Tuesday night will be a bit bad. There were semi-decent teams there,
Yeah.
That's the thing, you know, Pard said it already, the human conditioning about the players being unable to go. I can't get myself up for England and Andorra.
But Adrian Durham can for some strange reason. I think I'll take the dog for a walk again instead of watching that dross.
What do you make of Thomas Tuchel's England so far?
It's just same old as it was under Roy, wasn't it?
Well, he's won 4 out of 4. That's the only thing in competitive games, and that's his job, isn't it, Pards?
Well, it is his job, but I mean, you know, at the same token, I mean, just on a professional level, you know, talking as a football manager, I'd like to have seen him brought in tactically something new, something refreshing that might have made me, you know. But you know, when I think of his time as a manager, his teams, there's nothing in his teams that stand out for me. He's a winning manager. He gets the team doing the job, and I think what is the essence of him? And I would say his essence is the analytical approach of the opposition to nullify them and to win the game. I don't think there's anything like clever or entertaining going on. I think it's a very kind of Germanic way of looking at it. He gets the job done. That's him.
Is he the person that's going to win England the World Cup?
No, I'm afraid not now. We'll get out of the grip as usual because we'll probably end up with Jordan and Uzbekistan and Haiti or someone. And we'll win all 3 games and a bit.
Let's go to Michael, the Man United fan. He joins us. Good evening, Michael.
Good evening. Great show as always, you two.
Thank you, mate. At least we don't have to talk about Man United today. We can talk about England.
I'll be next week, Man United.
So this is it. You get a nice break from Man United and you get yourself up for England and Andorra.
Yeah, the players, isn't it? I think when you have a look at the Premier League, how many of these guys are starting for their teams at striker level? Look at the front lot. Most of them don't even make the starting 11, do they? Most of them. That's a problem. We don't play enough together in us. You look at the women's team, totally different, better organised. And this is my theory. No, Tuchel will not win this World Cup. But what I think will happen, and the FA should need to look at this, Serena Beatman has won 2 trophies with her England squad.
That's true.
I wouldn't be surprised that she could do the men's game.
Oh.
And I wouldn't be surprised she would. She's probably more equipped than Tuchel is. Tuchel is a Premier League
Champions League winner
manager.
as well.
Yeah.
And a Champions League winner.
Yeah.
And he's won in multiple countries. Right.
Oh, yeah, of course. But
he's a winner.
Level.
He's a winner.
Yeah, he's a winner.
And the thing is, Michael, he's won 4 out of 4 competitive games. The problem that we have is watching the football. The eye test is pretty poor. And we were winning games against poor opposition under Gareth Southgate. But at least even under Southgate, it was a 5-6-0 thumping of some of these countries. Like
that's what I mean, though. I mean, you look at now, you look and go, well, Gav did a better job.
Well, we've got to give him time because we've not been in a World Cup situation with him just yet.
No.
My issue is, playing people like Marcus Rashford, Pards. That's for me That's my main concerns there. You know, Marcus Rashford starting out there, you know, made a wakey on has he earned his place to be there? What has he done?
I don't know. It's a difficult one because, you know, the Man United dressing room, the England dressing room, you'd really like access to know exactly where Marcus is. Obviously, he's now at Barcelona. There is some murmurings that things are not all well there. Not so much with his behaviour, but with his performances, etc. Although the season's only just started. You know, I don't know. There was nothing in the selection of the team that made me sit up, and that's the point I'm trying to say. You know, I'm looking for something, and I'm not seeing anything really at the moment.
I'll be honest with you. I'm starting.
I think he could have marked anyone really, and they would have beat them.
I'm starting Jared Bowen over Madueke right now.
Me too.
Like, you know, he's just gone to Arsenal. He didn't really do that much at Chelsea. He's a good player.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think Jared Bowen, who's just, you know, especially someone that's playing, you know, in a difficult situation at the moment for West Ham, always turns up. Jared Bowen is a reliable player for me. He's someone I'd want in my England team. I could go to the World Cup and rely on him.
You know, like, you know, you got Saka, Bowen.
Yeah.
Right, that side, for it, you know, is done for me.
Yeah, I agree.
I can't see really anyone above them on that side of the pitch. The other side of the pitch is a bit of an issue. You know, we really need to find who is that going to be. Is it going to be Gordon? Is it going to be Eze maybe? You know, it's a difficult one to find somebody. And that's what I was saying right at the start of the year. This England team doesn't kind of strike me as a team good enough. Forget about the manager. It doesn't strike me as it's good enough. Coming to its peak. Remember now, Harry Kane's 33.
Yeah.
He's still going to carry the flag and carry the captaincy probably into the World Cup. Do we really see him lifting the trophy with this team? Jude Bellingham, you know, is he going to have the season he had 2 years ago? Because last year was a bit strange.
It was.
So, you know, there are a lot of questions to be asked in the Premier League this year and in Europe, obviously, because we got a few boys who are playing their football elsewhere.
03717 223344 is the number to call. Is Tuchel the right man for England? 4 wins out of 4 in competitive games for England. He's doing his job. That's the argument. He's done his job. Entertainment's not his job. Winning games are. Would you take winning the World Cup in a really horrible way if you just meant winning? I'll tell you what, as a Spurs fan who saw an awful Europa final, I live with that all day. Because what a trophy at the end of it. Lovely trophy.
Yeah. I've seen a few World Cup finals where it's been very poor.
Yeah.
You know, but obviously the winner is the one that's remembered. The losers never are.
Whereas the France-Argentina World Cup final, that was
a bit special.
That was spectacular.
England-West Germany, 1966, of course.
Imagine Mbappe scoring a hat-trick and not winning.
Yeah, incredible.
That's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good news. Rory McIlroy's just won. He's won the Irish Open in a playoff.
Fantastic. I was watching the pictures come through, all those Irish kids. Can you imagine how many have been inspired by him today? Got an eagle on the last to force the playoff, and then he won the playoff with a birdie. I mean, it was an incredible performance from him, and just before the Ryder Cup too. Brilliant.
Brilliant. We're going to be looking forward to that here in the studio. 03717 223344 is Madge, it's Pards. It's Sunday afternoon. It's the final word here on talkSPORT. Welcome back to the final word here on talkSPORT with me, Madge, and him over there, Pardew, aka Majestic, and experienced football manager Alan Pardew every Sunday, giving you the final word and letting you have your final word to the nation. Underneath us, the sounds of Coldplay. You like a bit of Coldplay, Pards?
Well, it's quite relevant, wasn't it? In a way.
We had to move the game, didn't we?
Yeah. I mean, my wife's a massive fan of Coldplay. She's been about, 8 times to see them. I mean, I've been once. I think once was good. I enjoyed it, with the bands and all that. And
oh, yeah, they
got
got the good light thing going on.
No, it's all synced and it's all good and everybody loves him and it's all, peace and tranquility. And God to, God willing, etc., etc. And then that's about it. They all sound the same to me after a little while.
No, they're very anthemic. They make big stadium records, don't they?
Is that what? Say that word again.
Anthemic.
Anthemic?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Like, anthems.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's
what they do.
Yeah,
they
they
do
are brilliant anthems, yeah.
And the thing is, I think when you get into that space where you start playing stadiums the size that they do, your music tends to go that way. It becomes bigger and more.
Yeah. I mean, they put on an unbelievable show. It's brilliant, and everybody goes as a whale of a time. I'm not against Coldplay, but, not sort of somebody that I would go and see again and again and again.
We've had a message here. They're not happy with us, Pards.
Oh.
What an arrogant attitude from Imagine Pards.
About Andorra, I bet it. Yeah.
Andorra should be seeded so that they can earn the right to play England.
Yeah, exactly.
The same England that bored every twice against the mighty Andorra. Why don't we just bin all the nations below England and only have England qualify? Maybe then they might actually win something. It's arrogance like this that makes the rest of the world dislike England. I think
it's a bit harsh. I think those comments a bit harsh.
Well, from them?
Yeah. Because, the in European football, you have the conference, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you have the conference level of European football? Because it's not quite Europa League or Champions League.
Correct.
Right? And that level gives those clubs the opportunity, like Crystal Palace have, of winning a trophy, right? So those smaller countries that have little kind of history with football, their population, their professional level of football is so low. Give them a chance of winning something so they can qualify and come and play with the big boys. That would be great. Be great for them as well, I think. It would be like a step up for them.
100%. And I think at the end of the day, you just have to look at stats.
It's not arrogance. People should get them away from that. It's not arrogance. It's just being at a professional level. That's my point. Even like tennis players, if you go to play at Wimbledon, you got to qualify at Wimbledon. You got to get through all the rounds to qualify to play against big guns. That's how it works. That's how.
Well, this is it, and I think
British Open's the same.
When it comes to competitive sport, there is no arrogance or bias. It's whoever's the best can come from wherever and win.
Absolutely.
So, and I think this idea, it's not because we're saying we're the mighty England, but regardless of not getting things over the line. Last Euros final.
No, Mitch, the more important point is there's too many games for our professionals. There's too many games that we're having to play, isn't there?
Yeah.
And we're still getting all these kind of international games flooded into the system where you're asking these guys to turn up and perform week in, week out. Oh, they get paid loads of money. They should be able to turn up anytime. They're like, yeah, but the motivation factor, don't complain if it's down a little bit because they're used to Champions League finals and Premier League games and high endurance and high profile games. Do you know what? It's very difficult to get yourself up. It's not fair on anybody.
Yeah, and I think that is exactly why, like you said, the idea of it being an arrogance rather than just giving other people the opportunity to have a go.
Because, I think if you put like countries at the levels that they're seeded at, and they are seeded by FIFA anyway, the clubs, you have a seeding ranking and you have to break in, and that gives you some transition. If you are good enough, then you go through the leagues, and we just give Bournemouth as an example of a transitional club who've done it on a club level, who have gone from out of the Football League almost, right, through the divisions and now got themselves established Premier League club. They've had to do that through the league levels, right? That's what should happen in international football. No reason.
Now there's a big World Cup qualifier happening tonight as Northern Ireland face the daunting task.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Germany in Cologne. And here with the team news is talkSPORT's Ian Abrams, aka the Moose. How are you, Moose?
I'm all right. Northern Ireland will at least go into it knowing they're top of the group at the start, having won in Luxembourg on Thursday. But as you rightly say, Germany were beaten in Slovakia, are a wounded animal, and they bring back Florian Wirtz of Liverpool, and Nick Volterbold of Newcastle also starts for them. For Northern Ireland, it's an unchanged side. So Bailey Peacock-Farrell's in goal, his 50th cap tonight. Hume, Towler, McNair will be a back three. Bradley will play one side, and probably, I suspect, Devaney the other side, with Shane Charles who scored his first international goal, and Ali McCann in midfield, and a front three of Ethan Galbraith and Isaac Price, either side of Jamie Reid, who also scored in Luxembourg on Thursday. 7:45 kick-off. It's a pretty much no-lose situation for Ireland tonight. They're not expected to get anything, but boy, would Michael O'Neill love to. It's Germany against Northern Ireland in Cologne.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much, Moose. We'll keep you updated during that as well.
And there'll be a lot of fans looking, Newcastle fans looking on.
Yes.
Walter, how do you pronounce his name?
Voterman, isn't it?
Voterman.
Voterman.
Be interested to see how he plays. This giant of a striker they have. He's come off the bench a couple of times and looked impressive. And
obviously played very well.
Great year last year.
Played very well at the under-21.
Under-21s, yeah, one of the big stars.
Was in the final against England.
Yeah.
03717223344. Let's go over the phone line. Steve's a West Ham fan. He joins me. How are we, Steve?
I'm fine, but I'm a little bit disappointed in you, Madge.
Go on, tell me why, Steve.
Well, I mean, not only do you support a lousy football team, boy, but saying that, and a man in your, because I look up, I'm the same as you, but I like Coldplay are to music what Cyril Smith was to hang gliding.
Tell me more. Go on.
Pardew, you can come back to West Ham anytime you like, mate.
Yeah, thanks very much. I mean, I'm a bit of a fan of Coldplay, but I'm with you a little bit. I know what you mean. It is a little bit like same-ish, isn't it?
I refuse to play two artists when I go out, because I'm a DJ as well. When I go out, I refuse to play Coldplay and the Birdie song.
No, do you know what? Listen, you got to go back to Coldplay's first album, which had Don't Panic on and Trouble and Yellow. It was a brilliant album. As I said, as the stadiums got bigger, their sound became more generic.
Mate, I'm on so many mailing lists, I get all that stuff for nothing and I give it away.
Can I come back to the Birdie song?
Yeah.
One of my friends produced that song.
No way.
Ray Santilli. If you're listening, Ray, it was down to you, man. All the pain that we've had to go through with that song, all the weddings, the anniversaries, the birthdays, we've had to endure that song.
The Birdie song.
Have you ever heard it?
Yeah, of course I do.
Oh, you might. Why don't you do it? Can't you do some sort of beat version of it?
Oh no, I'm not going down that road.
No, that would be bad.
Go on, talk to me about England, Steve.
Well, no, going back to the Birdie song very quickly, it's not the song itself, it's just that I always get the urge to do the beat and dance.
Oh, okay.
It's too funny.
And at 75, no, I shouldn't be doing that. No, Bowen should play more. I mean, giving him like minutes is not good enough for anybody. He's held our team together for years, at least 3 seasons.
Are you talking about Gerrard here? Yeah.
It must be demoralising to get called up. And I mean, if he'd have gone on yesterday, he'd have run his eye out, and we might have scored a couple more goals.
Yeah. But there's been many players in the past of England who have had exactly that situation, and then announced that they didn't want to play anymore, didn't want to be involved because they're fed up with turning up and not getting the game time. It's so frustrating. And Bowen is in that category of like players who have like been on the bench a bit too much. As you say, deserves more of an opportunity for me,
especially in these games.
Yeah, let's have a look at him. Let him do what he does for West Ham. If he, as I said to you the other day, we was talking about him the other day, wasn't we? And I said to you, the top 5 clubs, 6 clubs in the country, he's very unlucky not to have played for one of them. Really is. He's that good.
But he has won a trophy at West Ham and scored a goal.
Of course. I mean, I'm absolutely delighted that he's a West Ham player. But I'm saying, he is that good that you should have liked to have seen him play, for cup finals and league titles, etc.
Let's go to Darren, who's an Arsenal fan. He joins us. Good evening, Darren.
Good evening, boys. How you doing?
Good.
We've just woken up from the England game.
Well, you and everybody, I think. I think what we should be doing on these games is playing the under-21s. Showing everybody what we've got going forward. Because if you put that team that we put out yesterday, we wouldn't even be in the top half of the Premier League.
Do you think, Darren, do you think, right, it's coming from the managers, and I'm not just saying Tuchel, I'm talking about Gareth Southgate as well when he was in charge, and Pardew will have a better understanding of this. Now, I was speaking to someone that was playing in the under-21s, and I really enjoyed watching our under-21s in that tournament. I thought they played great football.
Yeah.
They did.
And the impression that I got was that their gaffer says to them, go out and play and express yourself, literally to those kind of words. There's obviously a system.
Lee Carsley talking about.
Yeah. There's a system in place, but he...
Well, let's go back to Darren's first thing, what he said.
About playing the
under-21s, which is an interesting one. You know, that's putting us at risk because obviously we want the qualifying points. What I would say is that...
at risk, though, with against Andorra?
No, that's what I was going to add. That's what I was going to add, Darren. The under-21s would beat them. I'll be quite confident of that. But so I'm not. I understand your philosophy of and giving the paying public something to see to sort of go, oh wow, this is the future. So I do get that, and it's not a bad idea. I see where you're going with it. But in terms of the money that's at stake, the people who are involved, the media and everything else, it just wouldn't happen.
Yeah, but see, the problem you have is the money, you just said it there, the money that's at stake. You've got all them players that are on X amount of money. The fans are paying all this money to go to that game. And if it wasn't for the own goal, you would have been sitting there going, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God. Right? Forget about the own goal. We only would have won 1-0 against Andorra. It's ridiculous. If there was no fight, there's no, get up and go, as they say. It's like, oh, we've got to turn up. We're going to get another cap. Harry's going to might get a goal and extend his record. It's no good for the country. We need something like, boosters. We're all in a time of depression, no money.
No, that's true. That's true.
Give us that to get us up there, get a bit of a cheer on.
Yeah.
Get Jackie Grealish and Bowen on. The talkSPORT Daily Podcast has a brand new refresh. Every day you can hear in-depth chats from talkSPORT's household names, including Jeff Stelling, Ali McCoist, Adrian Durham, and so many others in just a bite-sized 15-minute episode. You can listen on your commute to work when you're avoiding doing your work, in the shower, and wherever you want, really. That's the talkSPORT Daily Podcast, available every morning on the talkSPORT app, as well as the usual podcast platforms. Don't forget 03 717 22 3344.
Ray Sanselli be pleased. He'll be getting a commission off this, I'm sure. The royalty, isn't it?
Oh, PRS. Yeah, this does sum up our Sunday. Kind of feels like that, doesn't it?
This is what they should have played after the game to the Aston Villa fans who were left.
It is the international break, so Imagine Pards are here from 6 till 9 tonight for an extended show. And of course, we want to hear from all of our grassroots crew who are back to playing football again. So that could be your daughter, your son, your niece, your nephew, yourself playing for your grassroots football team, whatever it is. We want to hear the scores. We want the scores of how they got on, how they're getting on. You know, you want to doff your cap to the manager, to the coaches.
Yeah, and it'd be nice to hear from a young chap or young lady who scored 4 goals or more today.
4, you're going over the hat trick.
Yeah, I'm going over the hat trick because I always think that is a statement of intent.
Nice.
Your team.
4 or more.
Yeah,
we want to hear from you.
We want to hear from you.
We might even get you live on.
Yeah, why not?
03717 22 33 44 is the number to call. It's Majestic. It's Alan Pardew. How about talk about the last 11 games that they've played? Haven't lost by more than 3 goals. Jason the Fox is just coming in on the conversation that I'm just... Sometimes the texts just don't come in at the right times. I don't know what they're talking about. But big up to Jason the Fox. Thank you.
Is that a grassroots?
No.
What are you talking about then?
I'm not too sure. But I'm sure he'll let us know. 037 3717 22 Let's go to Steve, who's a Chelsea fan and a first-time caller. Good evening, Steve.
Oh, good evening, boys. Great show.
You're very welcome, mate.
I've been listening for so many years, but it does annoy me a little bit now when you look at the score against Andorra. Now you've got to remember, anybody and everybody, including yourselves that have played football, how difficult is it to play a lower team that put 10 men behind the ball?
I always say this.
They were trying to break them down on so many occasions. What we probably need is 2 prolific wing-backs to draw them out, play the balls in to the far post. But, of course, when you've got that many players behind the ball, I just think we've got to be more patient. I think we've got to wait till we play Serbia, wait till we play teams that, are much better and to give us
well, hold it. I don't want to steal your thunder here, Steve, but when Serbia come, don't worry, they'll be behind the ball, but they'll be better at it.
Yeah.
But they'll be better at it, and they'll be, on the counter attacks, they'll be fast and trying to penetrate us.
Yeah.
But it will be a similar type of game.
Yeah, and they're going to try and win on the breakthrough. Yeah. We know this. We know this. Andorra, they were praying to the gods that they were going to get one breakthrough and score a goal. So watching a game like that, yeah, of course it's boring. It is boring. But at the end of the day, we got 3 points, and we're progressing. So I'm sure all the football fans out there know these games are going to be boring. It's not going to be 10-0, is it?
No.
It's going to be...
How old are you, Steve? Out of interest? Oh,
sorry.
How old are you?
Me? I don't know who's listening. I'm 75, mate. I'm
75. So you've seen a lot of football over the years. A lot.
I've seen a lot of football over the years. I even saw the 1966 World Cup.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're all living on.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, Steve. So you've seen some of the great teams we've had down the years, right? And we have had some great teams. Do you actually think this squad could win the World Cup? Deep down?
Not without... Well, probably doubtful. However, with all the injuries we got no chance. We got no chance. We got to get these players back, and we got to have some flair players in, rather than just these mundane from me to you, back pass, square ball. We've got to have some flair players.
Well, we've got them as well, though, haven't we? That's the thing. We do have those players in our squads, or even not in our squad at the moment.
No, absolutely not. We've got injuries, and we've got players that should have been called up probably that are flair players. But you've also got to remember, as I'm sure everybody knows, when you play in the Premier League, you're surrounded by foreign players that are superstars. So when they put all these 10, 12, 15 players together, if they don't gel, then we're not going to have a squad.
No, of course, that's an important part of the manager's job, is trying to gel and get that team playing as a team. But, I just want to ask one last question, Steve. It's interesting because a lot of my older friends are really kind of getting a little bit sort of ground down by the the passing, the negative passing that we see now in the Premier League and at international level. Do you remember it quite as negative as it is at the moment, Steve, or are you with it?
No. It was a lot more open play before, and I still fervently believe that if we don't play the wide game with overlapping wing backs, the likes of Ashley Cole years ago and people like that, we're not drawing these teams out. And it's all down the middle, and it's negative passing, and we've got to change that if we're going to win anything at all.
Okay.
Brilliant, cool. Thank you very much. Great for a first-time caller there. That's Steve. Got a message here from Mark, who's a happy West Ham fan. He said, nobody truly remembers the qualifiers. Missing USA 1994 was rubbish, which it was. At no point were we going to lose yesterday. I'd be happy if we played all the tournament games next like that and win every game 2-0. World Cup winners again. How amazing would that be? I know what it means, but I just think right now, do you know what it is with England? Is we're living in an age now where we're so excited about players. We've just seen Eze being, sold for 50, 60 million pounds. Gay was almost on that sort of Liverpool big sell. He's big at the moment. There's so much hype around our players. Harry Kane is probably the best striker in the world right now.
Yeah, well.
If not one of, right? So we're excited. And when you're excited, you want to see those pieces put together properly, didn't you? And that's what it is.
I still think this England team, that it lacks something. And I'm really hoping that somebody, might even be Anderson, who had a decent game yesterday, somebody bursts through, because this usually happens in a World Cup year. You get somebody burst through in a particular season who absolutely goes, I'm in that England team. And I think we need one or two of them to come through if we're going to have any kind of chance. We have the kind of...
Or come back.
We have some nice round pegs in some nice round holes in the team. Bellingham, for example, Rice, Harry Kane, as you're saying. The goalie we know performs well at that level. Gay, he will be a definite for me. But there's a lot of question marks about the other positions.
Now, because it is International Sunday, we're going to call it.
Right, I should have mentioned Saka there, by the way.
Yeah, Saka's definitely in there. We want these pods.
Go on.
On your WhatsApp is a very special place you can speak to Majestic Pardew. WhatsApp, baby.
Send us your WhatsApp, baby.
WhatsApp, baby, WhatsApp.
Final word.
WhatsApp, baby, WhatsApp.
The WhatsApp number is 037-172-2344.
Right, grassroots heroes are the theme. You've already heard it from Pardew. He wants to hear it from someone that scored 4 or more goals this weekend. Have your chance to say, hey, I made a statement this weekend.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, Leo only hit the hat-trick mark.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he hit the hat-trick mark. Over the
That's still good, though.
Over the 3 games, he scored about 8. But the last game, he scored a hat-trick.
Nice.
So
he's in good form then.
Seeing that we're going back into the season and he's had a bit of time out in Spain in the pool, loving life.
Yeah. Now he's got to concentrate on his job, get back fully focused on that football career path.
A bit slower on the sprints on Wednesday at training.
Okay.
So he's been running up and down the garden.
Trying to get back in.
Yeah, that's it. 03717223344. So if you just heard us for the very first time ever, it's me, Majestic, DJ producer. I'm here on talkSPORT with legend. That is Alan Pardew. This man's done it at the highest level. Premier League. He's gone to the FA Cup final. He's done it all.
Uniquely, we have somebody at the music level who's done exactly the same.
And we're here.
Well, we're a good mixture.
That's right. And we are here to give you the platform to say, hey, I played this weekend for whatever your local team is, and I've done this on the world's biggest sports station. That's massive.
Yeah.
And you can do that by sending us a WhatsApp audio note to 03717223344. But next up, we're changing the subject parts.
Where are we going?
Spurs and Man United.
Oh,
it wouldn't be a Sunday.
It's time for a cup of tea.
It wouldn't be a Sunday without those two. Got copyright issues as well. There's lots to talk about. It's Imagine Pardew, the final word on talkSPORT.
What do you get when some of the most individual sports stars club together? Well, a melting pot of history, tension, rivalry, friendship and elite stories. Here are some of the best off-camera anecdotes from the Ryder Cup. Number 1, Tiger's loo roll. The protagonist, Lee Westwood's former caddy, Billy Foster, sat in a toilet cubicle at the Belfry. As he went to relieve his first morning nerves, Foster noticed only one of the 2 cubicles had loo roll, and while he was seated, in came a tiger into the empty cubicle, and he realised his mistake all too late. So Foster took some paper, reached under the cubicle with a rescue offering, and as Tiger went to take it, Foster uttered the words, "Europe, 1 up." As it happened, Europe did go on to win. Fast forward 10 years to the miraculous Medina, when, after a gruelling Saturday, Rory McIlroy overslept on the Sunday and was in danger of missing his tee time. Thankfully for him, the person booking player transport was Erica Stoll. She sorted him a police escort to the course. 3 years later, McIlroy proposed in Paris. The next story is told by Scottish legend Sam Torrance about the great Seve, who apparently despised the Americans mainly because of a diminutive US reporter who kept calling him Steve.
Hey, my name is Severiano Jose. It's no Steve, it's no Steve. Next day, Steve.
Torrance also tells of how Seve regularly gave coaching clinics to his European teammates, but a week later at the Italian Open, when the same players asked for advice, Seve would tell them to and see you next year. Having started with a Billy Foster story, let's finish with one from the 12th tee at Oakland Hills in 2004. It was Jimenez and Garcia against Westwood and Clark in a practice round, and as they finished, Foster decided to jump in the buggy and speed away with all their clubs, only to lose control entirely and tumble onto the course and see it careering towards the spectators. Thankfully, the Red Sea parted and the buggy smashed into a tree, with viewers and clubs still intact.
This is the final word with me, Majestic, alongside the former West Ham, Newcastle and Crystal Palace gaffer, Alan Pardew. Thank you for all your calls so far, including Steve, the West Ham fan, telling us to do the birdie song. Yes, England was so bad, we ended up talking about that instead. I'd rather talk about the birdie song. Coming up next, we're going to be talking about Spurs' apparently revolution coming, with Daniel Levy standing down, and some German media hinting that Harry Kane's tenure at Bayern Munich could be coming to an end next summer. Spurs fans, would you take Harry back? 03717 3344 is the number to call. Remember, talkSPORT is now your smart TV. Is now on your smart TV. Just grab the app on Android TV and Google TV. We're even on Prime Video. So come and watch us in our brilliant new studio. But now it's about you. Your say, your opinions on the phone line 03717 3344 with me, Madge, and Pards on a Sunday. It's Madge and Pards. It's talkSPORT. So, it was Thursday evening, just before going to play football myself with the lads over Power League. First game back in a long time, Pards.
Bit rusty.
No, felt good.
Oh, good.
Yeah, felt good.
Agile.
Not necessarily agile, but definitely the touch control and the vision.
Because as a big man, you got your touch. It's got to be good, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Because you ain't going to like sprint 2 or 3 yards to get it back. No.
It's just like even during that game.
I've managed people like you in the past, and I know.
What kind of names? I want names. What kind of players do you think of?
What kind of? Well, Andy Carroll was a player that if he's touched, if you went away from him, it was gone.
Yeah.
He was so big, and I wouldn't say he was cumbersome, but his touch needed to be solid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Big shoulder Amiobi was the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not doing any tracking back either.
No.
Even the lads are like,
they much.
Yeah, lads can't get.
Do you defend set plays, by the way?
Yeah.
Bring your back, big man.
I'll
edit out.
Big back. I'm happy for that.
Very important that for a striker.
100%.
Do that wrong.
But and I was on 90 minutes sleep, so I said, look, first game back and 90 minutes sleep. There's no tracking back tonight.
Oh, what do you mean 90 minutes sleep?
I had 90 minutes sleep.
What? The whole night? That's all you had? 90 minutes.
I finished at the club. I went home, I slept for 90 minutes, got up, went to the airport, and then
Well, if there's any young viewers listening in, that is not the preparation that you would have for a game of football.
No.
Ridiculous behaviour.
And
Get some sleep, man.
And in fairness, I did have a bit of like a sort of PTSD of when I did my knee last, and I kind of went through the night from my Ibiza and came and played football on the same Thursday, and I thought I better be careful.
Here we go.
So I did a lot of stretching before I played, at least.
Yeah, okay.
But we won against some. And my team and a few of the older boys in, and we beat the youngsters. And I told them afterwards, football's played up here, lads. So, yeah, before that happened, I got a message that read open, Daniel Levy steps down from chairman role at Spurs.
Shock.
You know those when you get the messages sometimes, and we've all had them on WhatsApp, yeah? And you play the video, and all of a sudden, it's that noise. You know the noise, don't you? I don't need to do the noise.
The uncomfortable noise.
It's an uncomfortable noise for everyone hearing it. You could be in public and all of a sudden, you could be at home in front of the wife and kids, the husband, whoever, and the noise comes on and they're like, what are you up to? I thought it'd be one of those. It wasn't. It was a genuine article that Daniel Levy had stepped down as chairman. I had phone calls here. Our gaffer, Ian, called me, Magic, coming on the show. I said, look, I'm playing football first, but afterwards I'll be on. I'm doing Natalie Sawyer and Courtney Sweetman-Kirk to talk about it. Then we did a special Tottenham Inside Spurs podcast, which you can watch on the talkSPORT YouTube now. Inside Spurs, yeah? Go check it out. Me and Sonny Snelling talking about Daniel Levy leaving Tottenham Hotspur. Were you shocked?
So you're an expert on it then?
I'm an expert. I'm well-versed in it. And if I'm honest, of all the things that I've seen unfold at Spurs in recent times, part of the timeline that somebody told me a while ago, it's all unravelling.
Okay.
Now, the moment...
In a positive way or a negative way?
In a positive, to the point of what we've seen so far.
Okay.
Now, I think there was Donna Cullen who stepped down first. And then after that, it was like there was almost a domino effect. For me personally, as soon as I saw, and I think it was, whether it was Simon Jordan or somebody else on this station said, when they saw Vinay join Spurs, I straight away thought, that's not going to work with him and Levy. They're two big characters, and that wouldn't work. So it looked to me there was a bit of a changing of the guard.
Yeah.
What do you make of it? Did you see it coming? And have you dealt with Daniel Levy personally?
Well, I have personally dealt with Daniel Levy over the sale of Darren Bent from Charlton to Spurs.
Okay, tell us more.
Well, the owner wanted me to be in the room, which I was a bit uncomfortable about, being the manager, because obviously I had ambitions one day of maybe being the Spurs manager. So I don't really want to upset the Spurs chairman, do I? Sitting in there, giving it large. But I did. I had to sit in there.
Is that something that's often done when they bring the manager in?
No, really rare. I don't know. I don't even know why it kind of. It sort of got to the stage where we're all going to meet up. Myself, Daniel, you're going to come. Darren Bent's representative. Sorry, obviously Darren wasn't there to try and hammer out a deal.
Is it because they think that Pardew's a bit handy? Bit of backup?
Let me just say that I know the owner definitely used me because I was very much against him going. I knew it would be, a massive problem, and I needed every penny. We've been relegated, and the reason we got relegated because we've done a brilliant job of almost staying up.
And then he was injured
because he was injured, right? Yeah. So I knew how important he was, but the money was essential. We were potless at Charlton at that time. We had bills to pay. All those contracts where you got instalments, like for next year, etc., etc. So all of our money from parachute money was almost gone out the door anyway. So we needed the money. I was going, no, more. And I could see Daniel Levy looking at me as if to say, got your number.
Well, he hasn't got your number because you never got your legacy number. So he hasn't actually got your number.
He never rung me. He never rung me since. So it didn't go. It obviously didn't go down well. But my behaviour was very much as Charlton manager, so that was who I was representing, and I did my best.
Can we like reenact it now on air? Like I'll be Daniel Levy and you be Pardew.
Well, I never actually had to say anything to him because the owner kept saying to me, "Let's go out of the room, Alan." And when I went out of the room, I was saying, "No more. Let's go back in. No more. Get 3-4 million more out of him. Come on, let's go."
And did you get the more?
We actually did get a lot more than he was offering initially, a lot more.
He probably offered 2.
And I see actually Simon Jordan did a piece in the Times today about his style, about Daniel Levy's style of like going in low and then pecking low, not like jumping it big, like just keep pecking low, so you're really not going anywhere. Do you know what I mean? So it was a bit like that. So I can ratify Simon's opinion. I would say that he was brilliant for Spurs. in so many ways, which has obviously been documented. You'll have your own opinions, and I'm sure they follow that. On the playing side, from my perspective, all the owners that I work with always in awe of him, of the job he had done. In the trade, at that level, he's at very, very high esteem, as you'd imagine, one of the very best. And unfortunately for him, even though he brought in big name managers, they never really got the team to where they wanted it to go. And there obviously was some friction between Mourinho and him, and obviously Conte even more so. Conte almost forced himself out of the job, didn't he? So
I also feel in that year, Conte had a lot of personal stuff going on, a lot of death around him, unfortunately. And I feel like he looked like someone that needed a bit of support, to be honest with you. It was a high-pressured environment.
Well, people forget that about football managers. Yeah, they do need support on occasions.
He lost. We lost our head of fitness coach, who was a good friend of his.
Yeah.
And then I think Gianluca Vialli unfortunately passed away as well, good friend of his as well. So I was actually gutted when Conte went. I really liked him. And when he did that famous rant about the players and like they don't want to work under pressure, they don't want to. He just basically said everything that as fans we'd seen. But with Daniel Levy, it's been such a strange sort of outburst of emotions from different sections of the fan base, because people are having parties. There's other people, saying be careful what you wish for. It just feels like his tenure has been very split down the middle of what people feel Spurs should have done. But
I think, you only got to turn up the stadium and go, wow, okay. I mean, that's got to be, that's the first impression you have of that football club. Or go to the training ground and then go, wow, oh, okay. Well, there are some things that he's done unbelievably well. The one policy that I don't know, is it Joe Lewis?
Yes.
Right, who does the majority share and he runs it through his trust, etc., etc. But I think he's still a massive voice behind the scenes.
Well, according to Harry Redknapp, who was on Breakfast with Gabby and Alan, it sounded like in his time, it felt like Joe Lewis made the final calls.
I think Joe Lewis, as far as I was concerned, I always assumed he was the big boss and Daniel was running the show, but Joe had the last say. That's, I think, how it worked. I mean, that could be wrong, but I assumed that's how it worked. Whether that policy of young players, not really going for a big hitter at prime age, like for example, this Harry Kane story about maybe coming back. Would you take him back?
Absolutely. You're right. German football
32.
German football expert Raphael Honigstein, I think is how you say it, thinks Bayern Munich and Harry Kane will have to make a decision over the striker's future very soon. He believes he could return to the Premier League.
Because I think at the end of next year, he'll have 1 year left.
Yeah.
And it makes sense to sell him, actually.
Well, apparently we have a £54 million buyback clause. Now, Harry Kane at 30 odd, whatever he'd be, 33, 34.
So Daniel Levy would never do that deal?
No way.
No way. So is this new structure going to be like, if that could win us the league, if that could win us a trophy,
I just think straight away from a commercial value as well, Harry Kane coming back to Tottenham Hotspur, the shirt sales, etc. and that, it'd probably cover most of that from commercial stuff.
I'm gonna put this into one kind of like box, and the box being the World Cup. If he doesn't have a very good World Cup, then that wouldn't be the case.
Yes.
If he had an unbelievable World Cup, what if he won it? Then it would be completely different.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk more about
that's
Kane.
And you've got to remember, their football careers, that's how quickly it can change. We know that. You can be in the first team, scoring 2, 3 goals, 4 goals, injured, then you're out. You don't play again for the rest of the season. So a lot of players, when they go on strike and stuff like that, you have to remember that some players do have the history of their friends or colleagues or their agents do of players who this has happened to. Things have gone wrong, like Gahey misses out on that transfer to Liverpool. What happens if he gets injured at Christmas? A cruise ship, for example, leaves him in a terrible position. So that is the other side of it.
It's a gamble.
It is a gamble.
03717 22 3344. I'm going to make it very simple. Spurs fans, would you take Harry Kane back next summer? And fans of the Premier League, would you take Harry Kane to your club? I'm talking about the top 6, because that's likely where he would go, a top 6 club, right? You can't see him anywhere else.
So. I mean, I would have thought so, because at the moment he doesn't look like he's coming off it. People are saying, okay, he might not have been at the level he was a couple of years ago. I think that's probably understandable, but he's still a cultured quality centre forward who does all the jobs of a number 9.
And
linking the play, creating, scoring.
Seeing though he is an academy product of Spurs by the end, right? Came through the Spurs system. We sold him for 80 million. You have to buy him back for 54. You still earn 20 odd million on him. That's the way to look at it.
Yeah.
03717222344. Get those calls in now. It's Madge and Pards, Sunday night. Listen to the final word on talkSPORT with me, Majestic, and him over there, Alan Pardew, as you relax into your Sunday evening through
with your cheese and biscuits.
Cheese and biscuits and a little glass of port, perhaps.
Yes.
Today we'll be going through the outgoings and ingoings of sporting world.
And also we'll be having a review of the Premier League after 3 games, which I have in front of me.
And the phone line number, of course, is 03717 2233.
Why are we talking like that?
I don't know. It's an international break. Trying to get people's attentions after the England game. We've been talking about Spurs because it's on the running order, not because I asked to, by the way. Do you know what? I got in a very nice Arsenal fan cab the other night. Nice.
Cab?
Yeah, black taxi, of course, in London. I stopped him. I was in King's Cross, and I just couldn't see if his light was on and off. So I waved at him, and he let me in. He's like, "You can't come in here. You're going to talk Tottenham." I was like, "Oh, here we go."
Oh, I love those jobs.
I love those ones. He's brilliant.
Straight in.
Yeah, his name's Mark. We had a good old bit of chat about the football and you know Arteta and whatever.
Yeah.
Lovely fella. And it just makes me think of the passion everyone has for their teams, and this station as well. It's just the fact, you're on here, you say something and just go home, you don't think about it, and all of a sudden you're in a cab having a chat about what you said last week on air, and your opinions on something. It's just brilliant, and I just love the listeners out there, how engrossed and engaged they are, and they make talkSPORT talkSPORT. So I just want to thank them.
Absolutely, particularly drivers who are in car all day. I mean, it's a bit of a job, whether you're a black cabbie or an Uber driver or wherever you are in the country. Yeah, it's hard work. That's hard graft. That they need a bit of light relief on the radio.
Yeah, and I like the fact that, for a lot of people, sometimes, chilling at home might be on their own, even if they're a little bit older. Like, it's almost like talkSPORT's their friend. And that is exactly what we are here for. Yeah. Whether you agree, disagree.
Particularly this show.
Yeah. But this show is, it's a very warm show, I like to call it. It's a warm show.
The final word, warmth.
The warmth of the final word. 03717 22 344. And that's why we're breaking records, parts. Year on year.
Exactly.
That's what we do.
Well,
but we don't talk about it that much, to be fair. No. Other shows do, and we'll be talking about the copyright of this show later on during the show. But right now, I've asked, and as always, you guys deliver. I've got a Spurs fan to talk about Spurs. Gareth joins us. How are we, Gareth?
I'm good, gentlemen. How are you both?
Yeah, very well. Let's just rewind to Thursday, Gareth, when that news came. How did you hear about it? Like, talk me through how you heard that Daniel Levy...
It wasn't a Kennedy moment, like,
It kind of is for a Spurs fan, isn't it? Gareth, for a Spurs fan, this was big, wasn't it?
It was. I literally, I was sat in the living room with the wife, and I went on X, and we were in the middle of a movie, and I went, babe, put Sky Sports News on. I said, you're going to love what you're about to hear. I want to see if it's true. And literally, yeah, it was breaking news. Daniel Levy's left Spurs, and it was great. It's great news. I was part of the Levy out crowd. I became part of the Levy out crowd from the Champions League final when I thought that was the time to invest.
Yeah.
And he left us high and dry. We had a great manager. We were Champions League final. We were doing brilliantly in the league, and as Pochettino said, that's when you need to furnish a new house with the right equipment.
Correct.
And we never did it. And don't get me wrong, I give Levy credit for what he did as regards the infrastructure and the way he managed to change Spurs from being mid-table mediocrity cup runs to having more success and being up in the Champions League in that respect. But when it came to investing in the team, it was ridiculous.
Do you think a little bit, though, there is something to say about just, again, you make your own luck, and if you invest properly, you've got more chance of winning, right?
Yep.
But you look at the Champions League final, for example, 2 minutes in, a handball that wouldn't be a handball the year after. You look at, certain cup finals where we just didn't get over the line, or a semi-final, for example. That's on the players, not necessarily Levy, but the argument then again could have better players on the field and you get over the line.
Well, that's it. If you've got better players, you give yourself a better chance.
Yeah.
And if you're scraping around in the bargain basement, hoping that your manager's going to, turn a rock into a diamond, then you're giving the manager an uphill task from the start. And when you do fall short, you've got to look, I believe, above the manager, because you've got to give them the tools to succeed.
Pards, what do you think on that case there? Because, of course, if I'm Daniel Levy, right, I'm looking at 2019. We've just moved into that new stadium. There's an absolute sliding doors moment of the Champions League final against Liverpool.
Yeah, but just going back to what Gareth said. Gareth said, cut runs and this and that, he turned us into something else. Well, you did.
Yeah.
Right? The amount of years, 25 years?
25 years, as long as talkSPORT's been going.
Right. So 25. Can you imagine the changes he's seen in the Premier League, where he's come from, where he inherited to where he's come from?
Mm-hmm.
The amount of money that's come into the game, the amount of money that's gone through Tottenham Hotspur in terms of revenue, TV money, etc. Even this new TV deal, why $3 billion was spent. And by the way, that figure wasn't $3 billion. I'll come back to that in a little while. But so he's had to navigate all those changes and keep Spurs at the top of the game. And I think there have been errors, and I think that might have been one of them. After you got to the final, maybe could have invested a little bit more then. I certainly think last year, that summer window, I said to you.
You said it.
That didn't strike me as an ambitious window at all. Far from it, in fact. So, which really scumpered Ange. It really made it difficult for him, I thought. And hence he lost his job. I think Thomas has got a much better deal out of Daniel Levy in terms of this transfer window with the players that have been bought. I think he's sitting much prettier, and I think Spurs will do okay. it'd be interesting to see where this new philosophy is.
Yeah, and what it looks like.
I personally think that Daniel Levy has done an unbelievable job at Spurs, and on the playing side, some of his decisions, like all decisions, I'm sure he would like to have done again, but he got some wrong.
What do you think, Gareth, was one of the worst decisions that he made? For me, it's got to be offering £3 million and Josh Onomah for Jack Grealish.
Jack Grealish, I think, was definitely one missed by Levy, and it was a big mistake. But I'll be honest with you, I think the way the Gareth Bale money was invested was probably the biggest mistake.
The infamous.
You look at all the players that we brought in.
We did get Chrissy Eriksen out of that lot, though.
I was going to say Christian Eriksen was the only one, but you think about that money and what he did with it. You know, was it better to get five or six players where we got one gem, or would it have been?
What
better
year was this, Gareth? What year was this match?
We sold Gareth after 2011, 2012.
Oh, so the Gareth Bale money. Okay.
We got 90 million, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and then we got.
Yeah, and you think back then, 45 million would have got you two brilliant players.
Yeah.
Back in that transfer market.
Gareth, can you name the players that he brought in off that Bale number, the money? Tommy Red.
I think Nasser Chadley.
Yep.
I think we. Trying to remember what I had for breakfast yesterday.
Paulinho.
Paulinho, who was supposed to have been fantastic and didn't really do it. I think did Soldado come in on that money as well?
Yeah, and then you had Chiriches, Capoue, and I think maybe Kevin Wimmer.
Capoue went to Watford, the midfield player.
Capoue, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it was poor from that. But
Capoue was a player that was meant to come to Newcastle. The reason I highlighted under him, and Spurs stole him off us. We was quite fancied him. Glad we missed out on that one.
Yeah, when he went to Watford.
He did okay.
Thanks for the call, Gareth. Brilliant stuff. Spurs fans, we haven't even spoken about Harry Kane yet. Would you take Harry Kane back? 03717 22 Don't forget, you still have plenty of time to send in your grassroots voice notes and scores. Remember, if you are a youngster, make sure it's your mum or dad sending the voice notes in, because we can't have under 18s on air, unfortunately. But like Freddie's already messaged us about West Kirby comments, so we'll give you the West Kirby comments score.
That's Liverpool, isn't it? West Kirby.
So if you want to shout out to your grassroots team, now is the time to go onto the WhatsApp. Send us a WhatsApp message on 03717 22 We want to hear from the scores, what the numbers were, who played well, etc. Who you want to shout out. That's what we do on the international breaks here on talkSPORT with Madge and Pardew. You'll be hearing us next here on talkSPORT.
Wondered why Erling Haaland scores a hat-trick instead of just 3 goals? Why Darwin Núñez is said to have missed a sitter rather than just missing a really easy shot? Or why on earth defenders are said to park the bus? Let's break down some of our favourite football cliches. First, let's talk hat-tricks. The term comes from cricket back in the 1800s. Any bowler who managed to get 3 successive wickets used to be rewarded with a hat from their club. Next up, if you see a skillful tackle, an athletic save or a 40-yard screamer, you might say these things are out the top drawer. That's because back in Victorian times, if you had wealth, valuable stuff, you kept it in the top drawer of your dresser, so loaded families became known as top drawer. Remember the last time your team left you feeling as sick as a parrot? The image of the sick bird is thought to come from a classic British comedy moment, Monty Python's Dead Parrot sketch, but the phrase was first used in football by Liverpool defender Phil Thompson. He supposedly said it after Liverpool lost to Nottingham Forest in the 1978 League Cup final. Forest won thanks to a controversial penalty given away by a Thompson foul, even though it was actually outside the box. Poor guy said he felt sick as a parrot afterwards. Is there anything more embarrassing than a nutmeg in football? Weird name, but it's actually related to the trading of nutmeg, the spice. It was so expensive back in the day that corrupt exporters used to try and mix in a bit of wood in with the nutmeg to cut their costs. The term soon became slang. If you
Pardew feeling it?
I heard this one before. Is this a top hit of today?
Sergio Ramos.
No.
That is the Sergio Ramos. It's called Cibeles.
It don't sound too bad. It's sort of song that you hear in Barcelona on a regular occasion.
On the radio, yeah.
8 o'clock.
Sergio Ramos does a song about saying goodbye to Real Madrid.
Oh, how cute. Very cuddly person.
I got a lot of red cards.
I tell you what, he was a right handful at set plays, Ramos.
Oh, yeah.
Attacking and defending, he was brilliant.
I can translate some of the lyrics. Would you like
translate, please.
I got a red card on a regular basis. Then Moussa Dembele put me in his pocket at Wembley when we played Spurs.
Oh.
You hear that bit?
No, I didn't hear that bit. Player Dembele, bro.
Mate, listen, you go back and watch Spurs against Madrid at Wembley and watch Moussa Dembele on Sergio Ramos. He got buoyed.
Buoyed?
Buoyed would be the term.
What's that mean?
He got absolutely buoyed.
Made to look like a boy.
Yeah, he got buoyed, mate. I love talking in parts like that. He got buoyed.
I'll use that tomorrow.
I feel like I'm doing that expression.
I'm on a Bobby Moore golf day tomorrow.
Bobby Moore golf day?
Yeah.
Who's there? Tell me more.
Tony Gowd, Tony Cotty, West Ham kind of, obviously charity-ish. But it'd be nice to have a Kingswood. Looking forward to that.
Nice. What do you play off?
14 now.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm getting better.
So how do you, enlighten me, how do you get your score? Like when you're, what your par level is?
Yeah, trust me, this is a boring conversation.
I like boring conversations.
Well, you have to put your scorecard in, and there's like an England app now. So you put all your scores in this England app. You register it. Someone has to go and verify it. Another player who's on the England app. He verifies it. Then they give you your handicap.
Ah.
So I should go round no worse than 14 shots
over
the par of the course. But even that changes because some courses are harder than others, and you get more shots or less shots.
Ah.
That's a bit weird.
I really want to take the time.
I don't really understand it.
I really want to take the time to start playing golf.
It's a great recreational game. And I was speaking to a couple of guys who are involved in the golf world. I've been lucky enough to meet them. And there's massive boom time for golf. And you know why?
COVID?
Yeah. COVID brought a whole new generation of young people to the golf course. And I think they're enjoying it. When I go around and playing golf now, it used to be just old men, if I'm honest, and a few youngsters. Now there's a lot of young people playing. It's great. Great for the game.
And we're the Happy Gilmore generation.
Of course you are. Gilmore too.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it's good fun.
Yeah.
Lots of amazing cameos as well.
Is there?
They're all in there.
I like movie cameos.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Little highlights.
You ever done a movie cameo or advert cameo?
Well, I've got me Uber Eats ads out at the moment, you know. People seem to be enjoying them. That's good.
Oh, brilliant. Now, every Sunday we turn our attention to grassroots football when it comes to an international break. So, DJ Kitch, spin that tune.
Grassroots football. Your devotion should be to the people who started you off at a very early age, running your football team, getting the oranges, making sure you're there in time.
All skills learned in the park, you know, jumpers for goalposts. And there's all that joy and the beauty of the game.
Pardew, what's the score? Pardew, what's the score?
From the parks and pitches from around the country, this is the Final Word Grassroots Football Results on talkSPORT.
Grassroots football results.
No, it's all good because it's all voice notes today, Pards, which is good. I'm very proud of this that we do on the show, which is our nod to grassroots football, because that's where it all comes from. And, of course, we need to support it. And we love doing this on an international break where we get you guys to talk about your footballing lives. So let's go to our first voice note that comes from Paul, who wants to tell us about his incredible five-a-side record.
Hi guys, love the show. I play for a five-a-side team in Henley-on-Thames called the Robard Relics. We've been playing together for 40 plus years, every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, and at the Gillett's Leisure Centre. And this week I passed the landmark of 200 goals. This year I've counted for the first time, and I've scored 3 to take me to 202 goals this year. So just saying, if anyone needs a striker, see you later, guys. Paul Carey from Henley.
Brilliant. I love that.
It's taken him 40 years to get 200 goals.
No, that's this year. This year. But I love
200 goals over 40 years. Come on,
this
Paul.
year. This year,
from Henley-on-Thames.
This year they decided to count, and this year he's done 200 goals.
Okay.
And I tell you what, I played Thursday, first time in a long time, and I realised how much I needed it. It's so good to be like, you know, the fact that they've done it every week, 8 o'clock for 40 years.
Yeah, it's good.
It's so important for you.
And the camaraderie and your spirit and your mental awareness and everything else. You know, your conditioning of your body, your health. Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Get out there and play a bit.
Let's go to Simon, who has a grassroots shout out.
Evening, Madge and Pards. Hope you gents are both very well. Thought I'd send a little WhatsApp voice note. This is not for myself, but for a couple of lads that bagged 4 goals apiece in an amateur fixture this weekend. Lads' names are Jordan Butterfan, who is skipper for Ludham FC in Norfolk. We beat a team called Philby 14-0. Jordan's a legend of the club, bagged 4 goals, got a ton of assists. But special mention goes to 16-year-old Archie Smith. Now, Archie scored 4 goals on his first senior appearance, which I think is class. So, big up Ludham, big up Archie, big up Skipper, cracking weekend.
Oh, I love that.
What a name. That is Archie
Smith. That sounds proper, doesn't it?
That's got to be a professional.
I tell you what, we need to give Woody a call.
Get Archie. Go and scout him.
We've heard about Archie Smith, 16.
Get the Bromley Wonder manager down there to have a look.
Yeah, 16. First senior debut.
Woody won't go, though. He'll send someone.
He will.
Yeah.
Send Teddy.
Send Ted, yeah.
Send Teddy.
Teddy Fletcher.
Right, John has sent us a grassroots voice note about his daughter.
Oh. Hi, talkSPORT. It's John here, living in Kenley. My daughter plays for AFC Greenwich, the Borough. First round of the Women's FA Cup today. Went to 1-1 against the Comets away game at North London, and 5-4 on penalties. Very exciting game. AFC the ladies didn't think they played that well, but it was very tense in the crowd. Took us an hour and a half to get home, but it's all happy. Speak soon.
Love that. That's it. It's an hour and a half to get home. It's, you know, the dedication that, you know, the mums and dads put in to take their kids places.
Got to go back, got to have a rewind on that. Was that his daughter, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Talking about. But Greenwich Borough, isn't that where Ian Wright come from?
I think so.
I got a feeling Ian Wright played for Greenwich Borough, or Stan Collymore, one of them two played for Greenwich Borough. I have to get verify.
And finally, because we can't escape England chat, let's hear from a fan who went to the Andorra game and gave us his thoughts.
Oh, that game was such a snore fest. We're on our way back. It was like pulling teeth. I agree totally. We don't want a German manager, we want an English manager. It was so inept, lacking ideas and creativity. Oh, I don't even know what to say, but it was rough as a badger's bum.
Is he allowed to say that on the radio?
Rough as a badger's bum. Also, thanks to the texter on the number ending 1779 who said, one for Pards. My son and his best mates played their first ever league match today for Crendon Corinthians under sevens, and both scored 4, winning 8-2.
Well done. That's what we want to hear. 4 goals banged in.
That's brilliant, isn't it? Thank you so much for those wonderful calls. As I say, we're very proud of our grass. I feel like, what's his name? Brendan Rodden, very proud. Very proud of the grassroots teams. Very proud indeed.
That's very sincere.
Ian Wright for the Greenwich Borough, by the way.
Yeah, told you.
Yeah, very proud.
So that's it's a hotbed of football stars come out of Greenwich Borough. What was the young lady's name? Did we catch her name?
Oh, I can't
We'll
remember.
get Ted to rewind that.
I'll tell you what, we'll try and get another grassroots shout out in the show later on if we can squeeze it in. So if you missed out and you thought, I want involved in this.
I enjoyed those. They're great, isn't it?
03717 22 Let's speak to Andy, the Spurs fan who joins us. How are we, Andy?
No, not another Spurs.
Hello there.
How are Andy?
You good, Andy?
Yes, thank you. Are you good?
Yes, very well, my friend. How did you feel when Levy left?
A relief, I think. Maybe the club can progress in different ways now. I feel his intentions have always been good, but I still feel he's held us back a bit over the years.
I think that's spot on when you said we can move forward in other ways, because he has moved us forward commercially. He's moved us forward with better facilities. I think if you're looking at Tottenham Hotspur as a team to buy, right? If you was a foreign investor, a team in London, currently in the Champions League, amazing facilities. You've seen the kind of concerts that they have there.
The valuation. What is the valuation at the moment?
I don't
right
even
up
know.
there. It's
It
like
really
4 or 5 billion, isn't it? I think.
Well, a team that's continued making a profit as well.
Exactly.
720 million.
And if we're currently spending 46% of the revenue on wages, you could put that to 60% and still be in a really good space. And so there's a lot of room for growth. What's the future hold for us, Andy, then, in your mind?
Oh, God, it's all about signings,
Absolutely.
How do you attract the top players when you're not making the top 10? I know last year was a disaster. I think, and I do hope that Tom Frank's going to turn it around a bit. I have high hopes of finishing the top 6 this year. It's early doors, and, that's been very optimistic, I suppose.
Andy, let me ask you this, right? Looking at the signings that we brought in, right? Kudos, Xavi Simons, of course, Moani at the end as well as Polinia. We had the Japanese lad that we've not really seen yet as well, Takai. For me, that window, and Pardew has already talked about last year's window, it doesn't look like a very Daniel Levy window, because there's a 30-year-old in there. I know it's on loan, but it feels like this particular transfer window, Pards, wasn't Levy's.
No.
Now with the hindsight of him going.
I agree.
Yeah, well, a little bit of influence from elsewhere, you think, maybe. There's always a time scale for everybody. If you're a manager of a football team, or you're a CEO of a football team, or even an owner of a football team, you're a custodian. You don't own them. You're a custodian for a period. He's had his period. He was brilliant at it. He's built and left. Let's be honest. He can go back to Spurs and have his head held high, can't he, for the rest of his life, Daniel Levy?
Oh,
right?
He's put the foundations in there.
Absolutely.
Something that could turn out very special.
Yeah, but I do agree with you. I think it's nice to see where it will go. And interesting to see how Thomas Frank's first interview, because remember, Daniel Levy would have appointed him. And I think as a manager, that's always a bit destabilising a little bit when the guy who's given you the job has gone.
Yeah.
It is. And we got a history of managers being changed in those circumstances. I'm sure this won't happen with Thomas, because obviously he's started and is, a proven Premier League manager.
And also his relationship with Lange.
Yeah. So, but the point I'm making is that it's slightly destabilising, I think, for him. Let's see what he has to say.
03717 22 Thank you, Andy, for the call. Had a message here from Castro. He says, not forgetting Magic's heroics in Miami when we played the Mason Collective tournament. He's a bulldozer, to say the least. Sign him up. We played a football tournament in Miami. It's called Miami Music Week. All the music sort of crew go over to
Producers
Miami.
and whatever.
DJs, all loads of parties. We do it in Amsterdam as well.
Nice.
And yeah, we had a bit of a.
Don't you need a
problem
manager
there.
or something? Can't I come over and say a few wise words?
Oh, it'd be good.
Yeah.
You should manage the All-Stars.
Yeah, I might have a go at that.
I like that. Keep those calls coming in. Still to come, we're going to be talking about the Premier League. Pards has got a bit of a 3-game review as I give you, and loads more as well as some tickets to Oasis. It's Madge, it's Pards, it's Sunday night, talkSPORT. All right, Pards, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
You're not bad, yeah? Our kid Pards, I call him. We like Liam and know me and Pards, don't we?
They're off to the States, aren't they?
They're in the States.
They're already gone.
Yeah, my brother-in-law saw him at the MetLife Stadium.
It's amazing. They've done all these concerts and they've not even leaked that they've had a row. I thought they'd have, like, just to create a bit of media hype.
Noel was on Drive with Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent and said how proud he is of Liam. And he forgot how good he is.
I've got to be honest. When, like, you know, obviously when Liam was away from the band, it was missing something. Now he's back with the band. It seems a lot of, some of the songs are definitely Liam's, aren't they?
In
my opinion.
They need to be together. They're just brilliant together. And our biggest competition to date is now live, and we give you the chance to win Oasis tickets, plus a whopping 25 grand, Pards, 25 G's.
A lot of money.
2 lucky winners, not 1, but 2 will win a pair of Oasis tickets when they return to Wembley on the 27th of September. Plus, that's not all. Alongside the tickets, we'll give you the chance to win £25,000. For all the details of how to enter this amazing competition, listen up right now.
18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word Oasis to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus 1 standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission. Or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 338. All entries must be received by the 19th of September at 9 a.m. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion run on talkSPORT, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
Right, Pards, we've got a 3-game review coming up now. Tell me more about this. I believe this is your section, so I'm going to let you lead.
Well, what I looked at...
there's been a goal in the German and Northern Ireland game. Let's go over to the Moose.
6 minutes gone. Germany 1, Northern Ireland 0. Serge Gnabry is the man with the goal. Ball played through to him. It was straight forward, straight ball through the Ireland defence. And unfortunately, no one could catch up with Gnabry. And inside the penalty area, he lifted it past Bailey Peacock Farrell, winning his 50th cap tonight. He's already had to pick the ball out the back of the net. Germany 1, Northern Ireland 0.
Thanks very much, Moose. I'm sure we'll have updates throughout the game on that one. We're just watching the goal now. Gnabry breaking the defence there. He goes on goal, comes outside. Yeah, it's a great finish from Gnabry. Top player. Top player.
And a big assist from the big Newcastle striker.
The big assist from the big man. Right. So, tell me about this 3-game review.
Yeah, sometimes, I like to see certain rhythms that are materialising. Different. After 10 games, it make a lot more sense. But even after 3 games, like when this international break, all the clubs will be looking at the stats. Forget about the points. Just looking at the stats, where are we sitting in terms of performance levels? So there are some sort of strange ones and some interesting ones. Spurs feature a couple of times.
Okay.
Want to know a couple of good Spurs ones?
Well, should we do it?
I'm not going to tell you them all because it'll be boring as hell. But I'm going to show you some of them, right? So the highest average ball possession in the Premier League over the 3 games was, go for just one guess. Which team?
Arsenal.
Chelsea were the top, 59%. Then Man City, Aston Villa, Liverpool, Man United. All the big hitters there. Then you're coming on to stats that really matter. So the least shots against in the Premier League, right? So this is like when your defence is performing well. This is a good stat. This is a stat. All managers after 3 games be like quite happy. By some distance, Newcastle lost 2 games, only 5 shots per game. So that's showing you a little bit of that they're going to be tight again, like they were last year. Very good defensively last year. Most shots against per 90 in the Premier League. The most shots against. Top team was close to home for you.
Arsenal.
Spurs.
Most shots against, sorry.
Yeah.
They were taking a lot of shots.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said Arsenal because they've been solid.
It's a bit of a worry, that, isn't it? So that's they're the sort of stats that, like, as a manager, you're like, what? What?
That's probably just the Bournemouth game. To be
for
fair.
me, what I would do I'd get my analyst to get all the shots against us to see where they're from, because some of them can be like, do you know what I mean? Insignificant.
Yeah.
They might be like shooting from all sorts of ranges, and it doesn't really relate to anything. On the other hand, there can be shots all inside your 18-yard box, and then you're like, wow, hold on a minute, what's going on here? So there are certain stats as a manager that like going to stand off. Your expected goals in the Premier League, the best average, the highest average was Chelsea. Man United was 2nd, surprisingly. Brighton, Man City, Bournemouth 5th. And the lowest ball possession, you want to go for that?
Yeah.
Burnley, 35%. 2nd place was Palace, but Palace play that counter-attacking style. They sort of, they don't particularly hand over possession, but they're quite comfortable not to have it. Leeds was 41, Brentford was 41, Everton 42. I think this is a stat that suggests to me that these teams and got some improvement to do. So the worst average expected goals in the Premier League top was Fulham, Burnley was second, Wolves were third, Brentford were fourth, and Everton were fifth. And that's a stat you definitely don't want. And then when you relate that to the league table, you know, down the bottom of the league, you have Wolves with 0 points, Aston Villa with 1 point, Fulham with 2 points, Newcastle, who had some tough games, and obviously the Isaac situation going on, in a very false position on 2. So we know they're going to get out of that. Burnley is down there with 3 points, Brentford 3 points with new manager, young manager, and West Ham are down there. So, you know, is it starting to look like this in 10 games' time? Will be interesting to see.
Had an interesting message here. Says, I'm a Coventry City fan. I went to a Spurs game last season and sat in the home end right next to the away fans. The club is massively missing that raw supporter feeling. I went with 2 Spurs fans and they were embarrassed. It's so clearly all about brand and sales. I just don't feel the football passion. Put it this way, I can guarantee a drop in club shop sales now Son has left. At least half the people there were South Korean tourists, which is amazing to see. But it felt like I was at a concert of all the people taking photos and videos. Now, it's interesting you say that. Don't forget, Mr. or Mrs. Coventry fan.
Is this a Spurs defence syndrome kicking in here?
No, I'm just saying, don't forget, if you went to see Spurs last season under Ange at home, it was horrible in terms of the energy and how toxic it was. You know, Levy out songs all the time, etc. Well, I just think it was in a bad time.
But I think you've got under also.
I think just to counteract that, go and watch the parade when we won.
All right. Relax.
I'm not relaxed, mate.
I'm stressed.
Again. Sunday.
Let's not go there. Tourism. Football tourism. Like, we have to go there a little bit.
I want to save that for after the pause because I think this is a really good piece you're going to give me. Into the break now. It's time for the... we want to know what the most random football game you've ever seen live. Have you been to a game somewhere in like Slovenia, Guatemala, Thailand, the Shetland Isles, or even South America? We want to hear from you, and I want to hear from Pardew's football.
What do you get when some of the most individual sports stars club together? Well, a melting pot of history, tension, rivalry, friendship and elite stories. Here are some of the best off-camera anecdotes from the Ryder Cup. Number 1, Tiger's loo roll. The protagonist, Lee Westwood's former caddy, Billy Foster, set in a toilet cubicle at the Belfry. As he went to relieve his first morning nerves, Foster noticed only one of the 2 cubicles had loo roll, and while he was seated, in came a tiger into the empty cubicle, and he realised his mistake all too late. So Foster took some paper, reached under the cubicle with a rescue offering, and as Tiger went to take it, Foster uttered the words, "Europe, 1 up." As it happened, Europe did go on to win. Fast forward 10 years to the miraculous Medina, when, after a gruelling Saturday, Rory McIlroy overslept on the Sunday and was in danger of missing his tee time. Thankfully for him, the person booking player transport was Erica Stoll. She sorted him a police escort to the course. 3 years later, McIlroy proposed in Paris. The next story is told by Scottish legend Sam Torrance about the great Seve, who apparently despised the Americans mainly because of a diminutive US reporter who kept calling him Steve.
Hey, my name is Severiano or Seve. It's no Steve, it's no Steve. Next day, Steve.
Torrance also tells of how Seve regularly gave coaching clinics to his European teammates, but a week later at the Italian Open, when the same players asked for advice, Seve would tell them to and see you next year. Having started with a Billy Foster story, let's finish with one from the 12th tee at Oakland Hills in 2004. It was Jimenez and Garcia against Westwood and Clark in a practice round, and as they finished, Foster decided to jump in the buggy and speed away with all their clubs, only to lose control entirely and tumble onto the course and see it careering towards the spectators. Thankfully, the Red Sea parted and the buggy smashed into a tree, with viewers and clubs still intact.
It is the final word phone-in with Imagine Parts. Remember that? Imagine Parts. Yeah? Copyright issues later. And the experienced Premier League manager Alan Pardew is alongside me as always. Still to come, we want to know about the most random game you've ever seen live. Last time we did this, we had shots of Slovenia, Belarus, games in Western Australia and Miami. So call us right now. 03 717 22 33 Later on, we're going to uncover some of that copyright infringement we talked about. But right now, we're going to give you the greatest quiz on radio. Our producer Ross was away last week, wasn't he? So this week, the Mystery Footballer Song Quiz is back. There's 3 songs in total, which will lead you to the player. Remember, it could be the club he's paid for, his squad number, a nickname, or even a physical feature. So right now, DJ Kitch, let's drop song number 1.
Just lying smiling in the dark, shooting stars around your heart, dreams come bouncing in your head, pure and simple every time. Now you're crying.
Next one, Parts.
Great song.
Great song.
Dreams you should be keeping
Pure and simple every time. The Lightning Seeds. What a band. I'll tell you what, I was about 9.
The England song.
They did 3 lines. Of course, as a young man, that's what got me into the Lightning Seeds, hearing 3 lines.
Yeah.
And then I went back and got all of their other bits and pieces. I remember getting the very best of the Lightning Seeds for Christmas '97.
Wow.
I asked for it. I was like, it's such a great band. Great music. Even for a young man.
Where were they based? Where were they?
Liverpool.
Oh, okay.
So that might be a clue, Parts. The Lightning Seeds with Pure, the Liverpudlian legends that they are.
Well, they've produced a few good bands, haven't they? Let's be honest, Liverpool, over the years.
Definitely. There's two, and football players.
Yeah.
There's 2 songs still to go, but if you think you know who it could be from our first song, text us your answer to 81089 or send us a WhatsApp message to 03717 22 3344. I think Jill will have a go at the quiz. Jill loves the quiz, doesn't she?
Loves the quiz.
Right, let's go back to what you were talking about before. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Pards. That's what live radio's like. I have to interrupt people, and it's very upsetting for me. Because I've got someone in my ear going, get to the break now!
Get there!
So let's talk about what you was going to say. So it finished with me defending my Spurs, my beloved Spurs, because someone said about the tourism at football. And obviously, of course, when Sonny was at Spurs, a lot of South Korean fans were there, which were brilliant. I used to like seeing how far my football clubs travelled, and they're still there.
Well, particularly in London. Football tourism has always been there because we've always had Scandinavians, a lot of Scandinavians coming to watch Premier League games. They'll go to any game. They're just interested in the product. But now, and England is very much, particularly London, is very much a tourist-based city. When you walk around central London now, you can actually see that most people are on their holidays or on their breaks, or are foreign people who have come here for whatever reason. And to get to a Premier League game is like massive for them. And Arsenal have tapped into that. Chelsea have tapped into that. Spurs have tapped into it to a lesser extent, some of the smaller clubs. But it is a massive part of the sales of football tickets, as you know. And this is not just happening in London, of course, in all the major cities. And that's the product we have. We have the world's greatest product in terms of league football. So you are going to get masses and masses of people desperate to get to see Premier League games, whichever Premier League games they are. So it is a big part of it. And I don't think Spurs, with Son going, are going to have that problem. It'd just be a different set of tourists.
Yeah, no,
exactly.
It will be indeed. And the thing is, as I said, like the flat nature of what they probably saw as fans going there will be on the basis of where the football was at. Because, I know, for example, I said the parade's rocking, the final was rocking. There's 35,000 people there just to watch the final on screens. I was there. I must say, when I was at the Spurs-Bournemouth game the other day, the Bournemouth fans were tremendous, sung throughout. But
tough little stadium, that.
But the away fans are always going to bring it because that's the hardcore fans that follow up and down the country. So I think you always got to judge your sort of football support on the away fans and how loud they are, because that's where the real fans are at. Although Anfield is just a beast. When you go there, there's always an atmosphere.
Yeah, well, of course, there's certain stadiums, Leeds, Newcastle, there's certain stadiums that have a certain aura about them. Unfortunately for West Ham, which they had at Upton Park, they haven't been able to translate that to the London Stadium because the dynamic of the stadium, that sometimes happens. But, luckily at Spurs, that great big wall that they... I know it's not a wall, but you know what I mean, that great big bank.
Single-tier stand.
A single-tier stand, which is amazing.
Of course.
Some noise.
Inspired by Borussia Dortmund's yellow wall.
Yeah.
Which is the biggest in the world. Single-tiered stand. Ours is very good indeed.
Yeah.
But like you said, tourism for football has always been a thing, and it's only going to continue to grow. And I know myself, my friends from all different parts of the world, when they come over, can we come and see a Premier League game? I've had it where I've got people tickets for Fulham, for example. They want to see a Premier League game. I'm like, what's happening on this weekend? They don't care what team's playing. They want to go experience it for the first time.
And there's also this issue that clubs are in at the moment about, the reselling of tickets when people can't make it. Season tickets, being able to pass it on to somebody else. And there's all different sets of criteria and rules, isn't there, about how you can do that to family members or to, to make a few bob or whatever.
03717 223344 is the number to call us here on The Final Word with Madge and Pards. Later on, as I said, we're going to go into depth about our copyright infringement that we're both pretty upset about, aren't we, Pards?
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about that more later on. And in terms of weirdest games, I watched a World Cup qualifier between Oman and Lebanon a few years ago now. Oman had a Premier League goalkeeper who played for West Brom and Brighton. Can you remember his name, boys?
No. What was his name?
Oman had a Premier League goalkeeper. Oh, that's a great bit of trivia for us.
Let's Google. Like everybody else.
I was working in Kidderminster in a carpet factory in the evening, went out with my workmate, noticed a big crowd walking past, so I decided to follow. ended up in the Kidderminster ground watching the first televised game with female lineswomen. That's from Paul in Manchester.
Yeah, so you had all those sort of issues, didn't you, of, females taking games, etc., etc. That was all a new thing. But I think, what we're looking for mainly is like that one where you turn up abroad, you're in the middle of nowhere and suddenly there's a game going on and you're like, you can't, it just doesn't make any sense.
Like this one. I was in Gibraltar back in 2016 for a holiday. We went to watch Lincoln Red Imps versus Celtic in the Champions League. Lincoln beat them 1-0. It was Brendan Rodgers' first game.
Wow.
And that's Gary, who's an Everton fan. So what's the most random football game you've been to?
Well, when you say random football games, I mean, when you go on pre-season tours, you end up playing at places. We played at Cincinnati, for example, when I was Newcastle manager, which was like amazing. Like I didn't expect it. I wasn't sure what to expect. But the stadium, and they wanted to get into, the top league. They was in the second tier at that time. And it was amazing. And the atmosphere, I just didn't expect a Cincinnati crowd to be quite geared up for football, but they were. It was good. It's great. So, that sticks in my mind a little bit. South Africa, we played, and that was, against the South African team, which was quite a random team. That is where you see these games sometimes, particularly when you're on holidays, don't you? You stumble on a game somewhere, and you see like a big club have arrived in the city. You weren't at least expecting it.
I saw LAFC taking on, I think it was someone like Vancouver or someone, when I was in LA last time.
And what was that atmosphere like?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Really good. They had one guy who just faces the crowd the whole time.
Yeah.
And he just bangs the drum.
That happens a lot abroad, actually, in Greece and in the Balkans. A lot of fans do not face the game at all. They just concentrate on generating the noise.
Crazy.
Yeah. Great, though. It does create a great atmosphere. And, the game in the States is definitely moving on. It's interesting that in this window that there hasn't been anyone really or any news coming out of teams going there. Yeah. The MLS been very quiet.
Apart from Sonny.
Yeah.
037172234. Where is and what is the most random football game you've ended up at, and what was the atmosphere like? It's Majestic, Pardew, talkSPORT. Sing it, Pards. Boy is mine.
Was this the One Eye or whatever her name was? No.
Oh, you're thinking Lisa Left Eye from TLC?
Yeah, Left Eye.
No.
That wasn't a real name, I take it.
No, it's Lisa something.
Yeah.
Lisa Left Eye, was it Lopez? I'm not
She
sure.
passed
Might
away.
be. She did pass away, unfortunately.
Sadly, yeah.
But this is Brandy and Monica.
I would never have got that in a million years.
Brandy, of course, incredible singer-songwriter and actress in Moesha, the kids' TV program that used to be on Nickelodeon back in the day. And this, of course, was an incredible R&B duo from the late 90s. The Boy Is Mine, and the song was #1 in 1998.
Oh, good years.
So there's a double clue here.
Oh, okay.
The Boy Is Mine. And it came out in 98. It was #1 actually in 98 in a particular moment of time, 1998. Brandy and Monica, The Boy Is Mine, and of course there was a fantastic UK garage remix of this, Pards.
By whom?
The Architects.
Oh, I thought you were going to say yourself.
No.
Oh, okay. I was going to you renamed yourself The Architect.
No,
I quite like that. I think that might work for you.
The Architects, well, no, they already exist.
Oh, they already exist.
They made Body Groove. Make the body move. You got
Let the body move.
That's
Yeah, I
it,
know
see,
that one.
that
Yeah, I
one,
got that one.
yeah.
I like that one.
Gonna make it, gonna let it, gonna make it. That was the UK Garage Mix, so that was brilliant. Get your answers into us now. Text us on 81089 or 0371722 3344 is the number. Now there's a big World Cup qualifier happening tonight as Northern Ireland are facing Germany in Cologne. And here with an update, talkSPORT's Ian Abrams.
12 to the break. It's Germany 1, Northern Ireland 1. Isaac Price has just volleyed home from a Justin Devaney corner. The first corner he put in was headed over by Paddy McNair, but it just took a flick off a defender. And when the second corner came over, Isaac Price of West Bromwich Albion has levelled for Northern Ireland. Serge Gnabry had given Germany the lead inside 6 minutes, but Northern Ireland were just getting a foothold in the game, and boy, have they got one now. Michael O'Neill's 98th game in charge. He's clapping on the sidelines, and well, he should too. It's Germany 1, Northern Ireland 1. Take a bow, Isaac Price.
So's about it, Lucy.
Let me tell you.
So's about it, eh?
What a goal.
What about that, huh?
Look at that.
What a great goal that is. So it is.
His side foot volleyed that back across the goal.
That is some fun. That's fantastic.
It was actually a well-worked corner. They got him free at the back post, and then he's had the composure to side foot that really firmly into the
That's
top
grand,
of the
so it is. It's grand.
The Germans are like working out why wasn't he marked. Rudiger seems to be getting the finger pointed at him. Yeah.
Of course, being half Northern Irish is great for me.
Are you half Northern Irish?
Yeah, my ma lives in Belfast, so she does.
Ah, lovely. I've always liked visiting the Emerald Isle.
Says about it. What's a crack? So it is.
Yeah.
Do you know what they do in Northern Ireland? A thing called champ.
Champ?
Champ, yeah. It's like basically really nice mashed potato.
Mashed potato?
With like
mustard or something in it?
Like butter. Like basically like a well of butter.
In the middle of it?
Yeah.
That sounds Irish.
We with spring onions. It's fantastic. When every time I go back, I'm like, Mum, can you do me some champs so you can? Right, we're going to keep you updated on that. 1-1. That's a massive for Northern Ireland, who currently top that group.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
they're playing a brave game because they're playing a really high line.
You can see how high that line is.
Yeah, which they conceded from earlier on in the game. Hopefully that won't be their downfall. But what a great goal!
Right, let's get back to the phone lines, Pod. Shall we do that?
Right.
So we do. So we do. Let's go over to Orlando. What about it, Orlando?
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. You good? You good, chaps?
I'm even better that Northern Ireland have just equalised against Germany. Tell me about your interesting story of a random football game.
A random football game. Well, in another life, I used to be an airline cabin crew, and I ended up in Jamaica, in Kingston.
Oh, amazing.
And when I arrived to the hotel, I see the USA football team coach at the hotel. Oh, what's going on here? So I go and check my phone. Oh, there's a World Cup qualifying. It's a double bill, and on that day they arrived there, it was Jamaica against Mexico. I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. Where's the stadium? You can see the stadium from the hotel. So I was like, well, where do you get tickets? I went to ask reception and said, oh, just down the hall. was like, oh, okay, cool. So me and I got two of my colleagues, two girls, wanted to come in the football. So I went to watch the qualifier, Jamaica versus Mexico.
And I guess there was a few English players playing for Jamaica, or not? Did you recognise anyone?
At the time, I don't remember
recall.
at the time.
No.
It was I remember USA team. It was when Klinsmann was the manager and Tim Howard was the goalkeeper. So it was a few years ago.
Yeah.
So, but the game wasn't great, and at some point I had to go to the loo. So whilst I was in the loo, I heard a bit of commotion when I got back to the stand. So I asked my colleagues, anything happened? So the girls, no, nothing. So the game finished, and I thought it finished 0-0. So not only when I got back to the hotel, I found out that Jamaica actually lost. Jamaica lost 1-0. Finally found out when I got back to the hotel. Someone told me.
So Mexico scored when you was having a comfort break.
When was this, Orlando?
World Cup qualifier a few years ago. Klinsmann was a USA manager. Well, so the USA national team was staying at the same hotel.
Yeah.
Tim Howard used to be the goalkeeper. So and there was a few other fellas there that used to play in the Premier League. So
somewhere between 2011 and 2016, because that's when
something in there. I actually played a game in Jamaica when I was a player.
Really?
Against we played in Kingston. Wow, that was an event. That was like edgy.
Scary?
Yeah.
You have a police guard?
Police guard, yeah. But they weren't police guards. They were like Rastafarians guarding us.
Like military?
No.
Like militants?
I don't know what they were, because I think the government was like, it was one of those periods in Jamaica when, who's in charge here? It was one of those moments. But we had, some Rasta men on the bus, and they were like, you'll be safe with us.
I like that. You've been protected by that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
03717 22 3344 is the number to call. Now, because, of course, it is an international break on a Sunday, we still want your grassroots WhatsApp voice notes. 03717 22 3344. And next up, we're talking about an investigation by Chief Inspector Pardew. That's all next. Pods. Baby! Of course, the late, great George Michael. Oh, how we missed that voice. What a star he was, Pods.
Yeah, brilliant. Obviously, I was around when the Wham first burst on the scene. Brilliant, wasn't
But they were adored, they were, weren't they?
Absolutely. And Andrew Ridgely, who I've met a few times socially, what a lovely chap.
Well, and to think in terms of George Michael, like, wrote Careless Whispers at like 14 or something.
Yeah, yeah, it's a very talented young man.
Unbelievable. This, of course, was Faith. George Michael. Faith is our third and final clue to our mystery footballer. Song 1 was by the Lightning Seeds with Pure. They're, of course, from Liverpool. Song 2 was from Brandy and Monica, the 1998 number 1. The Boy is Mine. And the third and final clue, George Michael with Faith. Got it yet, Pods?
Yep.
Got it. Right. From faith to losing faith, a new part of the show. Welcome to the talkSPORT True Crime Investigation Team. From the News UK building in London, 2 officers, a former Premier League manager and a multi-platinum selling music producer combined with their IQs higher than most.
IQs higher than most.
As they delve into the world of true crime. Handing over to Detective Constable Pards, a crime has been committed in this building, Pards. Tell me more.
Well, let's just say, right, it's interesting that, because I am a bit of a fan of TikTok, right?
Yes.
So randomly, when I'm a little bit bored with a TV show that's going on, I might flick on the TikTok.
The death scroll.
You know, like the young people do, where you got 2 or 3 things going on at once. Mrs. is talking to me on the TikTok and watching the telly. That's a normal scenario. And up comes a sketch.
A sketch, okay. Oh, what,
Right.
a comedic sketch?
A comedic sketch, right? And I was lucky enough, right, this week to go and see Russell Howard, right, and do his show. All new stuff. He's trying out his new stuff.
Yeah.
Brilliant. A top comedian at the top of his
game,
right?
yeah.
But I understand how that works. I remember stories in the past where comedians are stealing off other people. Richard Gervais has had, you know, that infamous stealing. What was his name who stole it off him? I can't remember.
Oh, James Corden.
James Corden nicked his joke, right? We're not having any of that copyright sort of stuff. And then I see something come up and I'm like,
I know this.
And it can't... something very similar happened on our show, which was by far better than what I had seen on the TikTok.
Oh, dearie me.
So I don't know where you want to go, would you? Because I have got some things that I put in place that I need to explain.
Okay, let's get some context about this. Let's play what myself and you did last Sunday on the show after a very strange interview from Unai Emery, the Aston Villa manager, who was talking before the game to our friends at Sky and just kept saying the same name. Let's have a listen to how it sounded on our show. Earlier on today, I was joined by the Aston Villa boss recently as he participated in the first ever edition, this is the first time it's ever been done, of Manager Mastermind here on talkSPORT.
Oh, I'd fancy a go at that.
Welcome to Premier League Managerial Mastermind. I'm joined by Unai Emery. Unai Emery, your specialist subject this evening is talkSPORT. Legendary broadcaster Jim White is joined by which opinionated co-commentator?
Bisotto.
Incorrect, that's Simon Jordan. Drive Time on talkSPORT is presented by Andy Goldstein and which former Premier League striker?
Marco Bisotto.
No, once again, it's not Basotte, it's actually Darren Bent. The best show on talkSPORT is by which presenters?
Marco Bisotto.
No, he's not even on talkSPORT. Of course, it's Madge and Pards on a Sunday evening. And coming up after this show this evening, Trans-Europe Express is presented by which legendary broadcaster?
Marco Bisotto.
Once again, it is not him, it's actually Danny Kelly. Unai Emery, you've unfortunately run out of time.
The time is over.
Yes, I've told you you've run out of time. You kept saying the same name again and again. So that was the manager,
Which I thought was excellent. I mean, you know, it'd be hard to top that. You've taken into context what a manager who's under enormous stress, who keeps repeating the names. He doesn't want to talk about Martinez over and over and over, and you've made a comedic moment out of it. Right, that's that part.
Then in the week, this is what you saw on TikTok.
This is what I see.
Our good mates, Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cunley, who do a great show on the sports.
Very different show, but I loved it. Great show.
Great show,
Funny
nonetheless. Funny show.
Ish, usually funny.
Very, very similar to ours because it's record breaking as well, and they're doing very well. And this is how they sounded.
Got a list of 10 questions here. let's start with the first one. Okay, you ready for this? It's proper questions. Yeah. What's your favourite presenter that you've worked with?
Bizot.
Okay, good answer. What's your favourite colour?
Bizot.
Cundy, what's your favourite meal in the talkSPORT canteen?
Marco Bizot.
Good answer, that's fair. Who do you blame for England not winning a major tournament since 1960?
Bizot. Marco Bizot. Bizot. Marco Bizot. Marco Bizot. Marco Bizot. Bizot. Marco Bizot.
And lastly, Alan Brazil, Breakfast Show, has a few co-presenters. Who do you think is his favourite?
Ali McQuist. And of course, the Sports Bar's back tomorrow night from 10 o'clock for more fun and antics. But Pards has a few things to say.
Yeah, well, firstly, I've contacted my lawyers, which are Slaughter and May, which sounds like a sketch from Monty Python, but they are the best lawyers in the country, right? Or one of the best. And they've told me that they've got the clerk to contract Lord Pinnock. You know who Lord Pinnock is?
Yes.
He's the King's Counsel, which is now called the King's Counsel. It used to be Queen's Counsel because we used to have a Queen,
yes.
right? But now it's the King's Counsel, who is the top man who's actually representing Manchester City against the Premier League. And I'm told has a very good chance of winning on all those 131 cases. So I've instructed them to say we cannot have this kind of copyright issue on this show.
No.
They've tried to top us. Like the Ali McCoist one at the end was amusing, right? But the rest of it was just a poor version of what you had already done. And if they're going to come up with some original stuff, then I'm all for it. But they don't need to come and start nicking stuff that we do.
And you know,
unnecessary.
And you know what? I'm gonna say this. I bet it weren't the lads. I bet it was the producer.
Oh,
because I'm telling you what, ours would have got shared round in the old production WhatsApp groups.
Oh.
They've seen it, thought, I've got a couple of funny lads.
We'll see if we can do it a little bit better. Wrong. Anyway, we'll see where this goes, right? We'll throw it back to them, see if they've got any kind of answer. We've never nicked anything off them, have we? Never tried to do that, with that Maggie Thatcher and all that thing that he does. What does he do? What's that rant he does? You do? I've heard.
Has anyone seen?
Yeah, that. We don't try and do that.
Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, dearie me. Right, somebody who definitely doesn't need a copyright infringement because he is his own self and the original bad boy.
Do you remember, actually, talking about serving a writ, which we might do in their show, actually. Do you remember Simon Jordan did that once?
I will go back to that in a moment. Now, there's a big World Cup qualifier happening tonight as Northern Ireland face Germany in Cologne, and here with the story is the original, the one and only, the Moose.
Thanks very much. You'd have got long odds on this half-time scoreline. Germany 1, Northern Ireland 1. The Germans ahead inside 6 minutes. Wottermolder's touch through to Serge Gnabry, lifted the ball over Peacock Farrell, and it looked like being a question of how many Germany would score, but not a bit of it. Northern Ireland fought their way back into the game, and on 33 minutes, a Justin Devaney corner from the left-hand side, Isaac Price and West Bromwich Albion round the back, volleyed in at the far post into the roof of the net. He's the youngest player to score 10 goals for Northern Ireland. That was his 10th tonight. And excluding own goals, guys, 8 of Northern Ireland's last 9 goals have been scored by players aged 21. That's the future of football right there for you. Germany had no response. They did have the ball in the net just before half-time, but it was clearly offside. And I think Michael O'Neill will be delighted at this scoreline in Cologne. Germany 1, Northern Ireland 1.
Thank you very much, Moose. I'll tell you what, Pards, the phone lines are going crazy for the copyright infringement.
Well, I'm not surprised.
Our audience, they said they loved it last week, thought Mastermind Manager, they wanted it as a series.
Exactly. There's something we could have built on there. But, when people steal things, it's just, anyway, let's see. If I have to serve a writ, I'll serve a writ. Yeah. And going back to that story, do you remember that or not?
What story? Because we didn't say it on air.
Okay, well, Ian Dowie's manager of Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
I can't remember the actual what happened, but he was going to go to Charlton. And And Simon was there's something about Simon could release him or couldn't release him. There was a kind of a dispute whether he'd been released or not. He goes to Charlton in the press conference. Simon Jordan serves a writ on him.
Yeah, publicly, didn't he? At his Charlton unveiling.
Correct.
In a dramatic event orchestrated with Sky Sports.
Yeah. And so there you go. These scoundrels, Cundy and his associate, may well be served with a writ this week.
Amazing. 03717 22 3344 is the number to give us a call. Let's go to the phone lines. And Stuart joins us. How are we, Stuart?
No, Stuart, he's gone.
Stuart's not there. Stuart is complaining to the officials about us being, having our intellectual property taken away from us.
Oh, he might be able to give us some sound advice. You never know, do you? He might be a lawyer himself.
I think maybe if there is someone who knows the law, they should call us to help us.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Stuart. I think he could be back now. Stuart?
Hey, mate, how you doing?
I'm very good. How are you, my friend?
Well, first of all, this is a great show. I've been listening to it for a few weeks, so well done, lads, whoever, how you put it together. No, seriously, as for doing that. I'm going to tell you about a game that came from nothing. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. What happened was I'm a LA Galaxy season ticket holder and I'm a Rangers fan. But out with Rangers, and excuse me, this was uncomparable. For the first time we played LAFC, and we'd been going for 25 years at a time, and we played them at the Galaxy Stadium. Now, Hollywood was all over it like a cheap suit. So we couldn't get into our own stadium. They had limos parked in the driveways into the stadium that we couldn't get our cars in to go to parking spaces. They had people out of limos, dancing girls, like the Dallas Cowboy girls dancing on the streets, dancing on out. We couldn't get near our own stadium, and it wasn't very, so the atmosphere was already set. Plus the fans were absolutely, you don't really hear much songs with cussing in them, but they were giving it, Anyway, so we get in the stadium. We're down 2-0. Then we're down 3-0 right after half time, and it's just a chant. They've taken over some of our sections. They're all around the stadium, just destroying us. And then they brought this guy on, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. They brought him on. And suddenly we had a fight in our team, and we went from 3-0 down, and we came back and we won 4-3 with that most unbelievable. He came on in the 71st minute while they were still singing their things. I have never seen a change in a game like this in my life. He came on and he scored that, especially the third goal where he launched it, 43 yards I think it was recorded at. And then we're happy with the draw in a sense because we've been down 3-0, as you are. We're at home, and all you could hear all around the place is all these chants. And then in the 94th minute, he just leaps like a salmon and scores the fourth goal for us. And the whole stadium of Galaxy fans, obviously, that were there were just going ballistic. We never left the ground for 45 minutes. Unbelievable game. All because of that big showpiece guy. I'm sure you maybe know him personally or something. I don't, or anything, But we met with his whole family were there, from Sweden. You would never know with their accents. They sound British American. But they were there, and we were talking away with them and everything. And it's just unbelievable, the guy. And that is the greatest non-Rangers game I've ever been to in my life.
Zlatan, we're talking about, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, big Zlatan. What a player he was.
Yeah, but in the dress, we had a few friends, but two close friends in the Galaxy dressing room. And when he walked in, and he arrived on the Saturday, so, they didn't. I don't think he'd played for 2 months or something. And we had two of the lads there, one a Mexican lad and then an American lad. And he walked in the dressing room, and he said, "Look, this is Abraham. He's joined us. Hopefully he'll play a part in today's game and all this kind of thing." And he says, "May I say something?" And this may be an old joke. I don't care. But to all the Americans and Mexicans there, this was brand new. He goes, "How many of you believe in Jesus Christ?" And they're all looking around. And the Mexicans didn't understand him. I mean, they have an accent, but they're going, "Why is he mentioning Jesus Christ?" So they're all whispering. And the guy I know say to me, he says, well, congratulations, you've just met him.
Just met him.
That was in the day of the game. I know it's an old joke for things, but I mean, this is what he done. And then he went out there. And,
that goal he scored was just. Did you remember it, Pards? I'll show you if you don't remember it. It's outrageous. The man scored some outrageous goals in his time, but this one, on his debut, he goes, ridiculous. So, and you was there. That is incredible, Stu. And Stu, I was saying to Pards earlier, I went to an LAFC game because if I believe rightly, they were taken over. There was a Mexican club, wasn't they? So they've got a big Mexican support. Is that correct?
That's where they hammer. We have lots of Mexicans too, but LA Galaxy is from LA South Bay.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know the area towards Orange County.
Mm-hmm.
Like Galaxy tickets were over 50% from Orange County, which is south. So when they hit their market, they hit a different market. But they brought all the Hollywood people in, and they just turned it into a showpiece. Most of these people had never been to a football game in their life. I mean, they were just dancing outside the stadium without getting in, and we're trying to get in to see the game. And so it was a showpiece. So that's what made it so wonderful, you know.
Yeah, and
but it's good to have a rival because Chivas were there and they didn't do too good, you know. It was a full Mexican team, you know. And I used to go to see both Chivas and Galaxy, but my mate Gordon Mathers, Graham Mathers, and myself, we were there that day, sat at a table, and at 3 of them were just looking at each other going, this is humiliating. We've never ever seen this. And then by the end of the game, I'm not a 21-year-old. Neither is Gordon. And the couple next to me whose son was playing, the Mexican guy I'm telling you about, the mother was standing on top of a chair. And I was on top of a table with Gordon and his son. And I'd never done that before, ever. And
it inspired you. It inspired you. Yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant, cool. Thank you very much,
And
Stuart.
you know, we got a little bit of that razzmatazz coming, Madge, you know, with the World Cup and that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there'll be plenty of that. And Trump will be turning up as well.
I got to say, it's the greatest World Cup I've ever seen. It's the greatest.
and he'll be wearing his hat.
And his red tie.
Make America great.
It's so great. So huge. Still to come before we hand the baton over to the brilliant Trans-Europe Express with Danny Kelly. We will reveal who our mystery footballer is and we will go through the final word on all the stories you might have missed. It's Majestic Pards. It's Sunday night. It's the final word.
stars around your heart, dreams come bouncing in your head, pure and simple every time.
That is, of course, Brandy and Monica, the boys' line before this, Lightning Seeds with Pure. George Michael with Faith, with the 3 songs for our mystery footballer. And Pards, who was that?
Well, I hope I'm right, because no one's given me the answer. Michael Owen, is it?
Of course, it was Michael Owen.
He's been quite outspoken this week.
Yes, there's been an interview with him and Rio Ferdinand, where he talks about
how brilliant he was.
How brilliant he was, which, in fairness, he was.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter, he won a Ballon d'Or.
2, I think.
No, just 1.
Was you sure?
I'm sure there's only 1.
Oh, okay.
He won, I think, top goal scorer 2 years in a row in the Premier League.
Ah, okay. That's what I might be getting confused with.
But the last English player to win that was him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You know, perhaps over the years he feels like he hadn't been given the credit that he perhaps deserved, and
He probably does.
Shout his corner. It's unusual to do that, but fair play. And as you say, he probably got justifiable rights to put his statement out, which he did.
Well, this is it. And the thing is, like, I think probably for
very
him,
successful horse race owner, actually, isn't he? Now,
is he really?
Yes, he is very successful.
I just think for him, he's probably frustrated that people really don't, uphold him in maybe how he probably feels he should be upheld in terms of how good he was at that time.
Yeah, in Liverpool, perhaps, and in England, he hasn't got the recognition, as you say, that he feels it warrants.
Because he was.
That's fair enough.
He was. And again, to do it at the age that he was, right, 18 years of age, on the world stage, he came on for England and saved us against Romania, if I remember rightly, getting a goal.
There's a little moment of his career, right, which was probably the making of his career, which was the goal against Argentina, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a football manager, every time I see that clip, I cannot understand
the marking.
Why the centre half, right, is 50 yards away on the edge of the box. All I can assume was when the play was up the other end, he was injured and he hadn't had time to get up the pitch because Michael's running at him and he's just like, he comes into shot after about 2 seconds and Michael's travelled 20 metres and he just skips round him like he's not there. It's weird.
Incredible, wasn't it? So, Michael Owen was the answer. He loves a big statement. And continuing the international flavour of the show, Kevin from Canada was the first person to get it right.
Well done, Kevin from Canada.
Well done, Kevin.
Just shows you the reach that we have.
Pards, we do love our music on this show of all sorts. And there is a particular record you'd like to play this evening, wouldn't you?
Yep.
What is that record?
We're going to play it now, I think.
We're going to play it right now. My Brother, what a great record. And Pards, why are we playing that this evening, sir?
Yeah, unfortunately, my family lost my brother, Tony, about 9 days ago, I think it is. We got the funeral Tuesday. So I thought it'd just be nice. So I've always loved that song, and it always reminds me of him. He was a real gent, lovely, lovely man, and his partner, Marion, suffering a little bit. Yeah. So it's for her as well, and the rest of my family. As a little tribute to Tony Pardew.
Was he older or younger than you?
He was older than me, and he died of cancer, which obviously grips a lot of people in a horrible way. and very quite sudden. It come on, boom, and it was done.
Do you know what? Having a brother must have been. I always wished to have a brother. I've got two sisters. I love my sisters dearly, but having a brother must have been awesome.
Yeah, yeah, and obviously I shall play tribute to him at the funeral, but it's just a different bond you have with all the friends who come and go. Your brother is just someone who's unique to you. You know you're going to spend your life with them.
Absolutely. Well, we're sending our thoughts to your family, Pards, and to your brother's wife and his family. And what a great record to play this evening in memory of Tony Pardew.
Thank you, Mitch.
It's a long, long road.
That's right. It's a brilliant song from Manchester, the Hollies. They do make great records up there, don't they?
Yeah.
Great bands. And the harmonies on that.
Story about the song, isn't it? Where, he goes to that children's home.
Yes.
And there's that monument outside where there's a one young man, a taller man, carrying a small child. And they wrote the song on the back of that.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Let's talk about another thing that's close to your heart, which is golf, Pards.
Yeah.
You love your golf.
Yes.
And today we saw something amazing before the show, didn't we? Rory.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, he has to make the guy makes a birdie who's leading the tournament. And it's the Irish Open. You can imagine everybody's turned up to watch Rory, really. And they're roaring him on, but he's got to get